3.5 hours of Sam Lee convincing everyone that he is a good guy. It's because he's trying to steal the community. This guy is manipulating the community. He's failing miserably. Yeah, you need to watch this. This is a brilliant video. What a load of rot. There is no corporate. Sam must be freaking out. Sam is currently in Dubai. Sam Lee is a scammer. He's a bank robber, and he's come back in to the community to steal the community. He has no answers. He has no information, and he's given people false hope. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Do not trust him. This is one of the most amazing videos exposing Sam Lee for the criminal he is. Says that it's laughable the fact that his platform could be hacked and held for ransom. Sam Lee came out last night. I'm doing my video now, and now this article has been taken off the internet. Enjoy watching the video. Remember the timestamps. And this is what I do on my birthday because I love exposing people that are running Ponzi schemes or scams. Please do subscribe. Make it my birthday present. Hello, welcome back. Danny the Heck's my name, aka the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. Nickname given to me when I had a whole page in the New York Times about my quest to bust anyone out there promoting a Ponzi scheme or running a scam. The saga continues. I've just seen another video which I'm about to share with you. Sam Lee is trying to get hold of the community that HyperVerse controls, the HyperCommunity. In this video, you're going to hear some really prudent questions. They've done a really good job asking and scrutinizing Sam. Personally, I think this is a total slap in the face to the community that Sam thinks he can come along and convince the community that he can do some good at getting their money back. Now, my calculations show this is inconceivable. This cannot happen because there's actually three parts to what's going on here. There's corporate that we don't know nothing about, and Sam alleges that he also knows nothing about. However, he was one of the founders of Hyperfund and HyperVerse, so it doesn't make any sense. There's the VIP 5s, even though it goes up to VIP 9 now in HyperNation. There's started off with Bitcoin Group, Colin Star Capital, Hyper Capital, that's right, Hyperfund, HyperVerse, HyperNation, HyperCosmos. They've even got HyperPlanet, and they've also got something coming out called HyperStore. So there's a lot of hype going on, but these are all rebrands. But we all don't know whether these entities are connected. In my previous video, it did seem like HyperVerse set up HyperCosmos, which was a platform where people, if they sold packages to people, they would be able to get their money back because they were paying 50% commission if you referred someone to it. So you'd go off to Mary down the road and you'd say, look, I've got an investment opportunity. There's nothing in it, but if you want to invest 500, you can buy this package with HyperCosmos. HyperCosmos said the person that sold it would get 50%. And this was one of the strategies that HyperVerse allegedly come up with to theoretically be able to help people get their money back. I'm not going to get into it too much, but basically you could create an account with HyperCosmos using your HU or your HVT. You could convert it into a Hyper Bond money. When you convert it into Hyper Bond, you could create yourself a HyperCosmos account. And once you referred 3 people into it for whatever value package you wanted to sell them when you were selling them nothing, yes, this is ridiculous, I know as it sounds, you would get 50% reward. If you created your HyperCosmos account with the given Hyper Bond money, you would only receive a certain percentage of that 50%, not all of it. I'm not exactly clear. I've never signed up for any of these Ponzi schemes or these get-rich-quick opportunities. But ironically, if you used fresh USDT to create your HyperCosmos account and you managed to convince 3 of your friends or your family that they needed to invest in a company that was giving you nothing, they would give you the 50% promised rewards. And this was one of their ways of helping you get your money back out of HyperVerse. So there's videos from Carl. You'll see a video on my YouTube channel, and also Whitney Smart, who's not that smart. And she's telling people that hypercosmos is a good thing, and why wouldn't you invest and get your $100 out and give this organization that has already stolen $4 billion from people more money with the hope that you're going to get your money back. Now, it's not rocket science. It may be hex science, but there's no way in hell anyone's going to have enough money to actually return people's money, even if they allege. So after Sam first popped out his ugly head in the hyper community, 2 days or 1 day after that happened, an announcement came from HyperVerse, and now they have alleged that way back early 2022, they had a hacker come along, and the hacker basically broke into their fortress that was impossible to penetrate, and held and stole all the money and moved all the money from people's wallets onto his own personal wallet. This is ridiculous, I know. And then they notified FTX, yes, FTX, they said this in a message, and also Bitcoin, to be careful of someone trying to take money in big lumps and sums out of the hyper community or out of HyperVerse and distribute it. And because the hacker couldn't do so, after nearly 12 months of negotiating, that he took the offer of $400,000, and they were managed to be able to get the money back. So this hacker, that's absolutely amazing, got stumped because somehow Binance or FTX blocked the transactions, and he couldn't do anything, so he decided to take the money instead. Now that's a great story. Never let the truth get in the way of a good story, I say. But it gets a little bit more ridiculous. Now, this is how the scam works. As I said just at the start, there is actually 3 parts to the story. There's corporate, the people that are coming up with these scams, and then there's the multi-level marketers that are running these scams. So if I personally put $1,000 in, they would pay me, the person that introduced me into it, 20% of that. This was the structured reward system they had. Now, if I referred somebody into it after I signed up for 1,000 and they signed up for 1,000, I would get 20%, and the person that introduced me would get 15%. And the tiered structure means that the people who are promoting it, the people that are running these Zoom meetings that I am trying to stop, are the ones that are collecting the money. So it's 52% of it, going by my maths, of the money that gets paid into this Ponzi scheme is actually going out in rewards before it actually even gets to the platform where they're meant to be doing these wonderful things, which you never hear about anymore, like the metaverse and the ecosystem they're creating. So I got told by the community that 1.5 million people have invested in HyperVerse. Now, the minimum investment is $300. And if you invested $300 in 600 days, they were going to pay out $900 in rewards. Have I got that right? That's right, 3 times your investment. And that's the hope. And that's why people have put their money in here, and they've just gone into the fake back end thinking it's some sort of bank account, and they've watched their rewards grow. And when their rewards come out, you can either reinvest and compound it. And a lot of people, who's the third people in the mix, are the people that have invested. And they're sitting there watching their funds go up and up and up and up. And I've had people on Zoom meetings with me telling me they put $5,000 in. They've managed to build up $5,000 and take out their initial investment, and then left their play money on the table and then reinvested that. And some of them have told me they've had up to $200,000 worth of money, which is tied up in HVT, that they can't get out when the system collapsed. And they're still paying out the rewards. So people have got all this fake money in these accounts. Some of them have cashed up, some of them haven't. But what HyperVerse is alleging, that they are going to pay back people's one time, which means if you put $1,000 in and you never received any money out of the system, they want to give you your $1,000 back. Now, why won't that work? Because the people that have been promoting it have been getting the rewards, and they have literally been taking out this money in USDT, which means that 52% of the money theoretically has already been taken out. So if you had 1.5 million people, that's the minimum, and they all invested $300, it's a $4 billion scam. No doubt about it. All right, 52% of that money theoretically could have already gone out of the platform and off to the people who know what they're doing the VIP fives. And that's why people like Kalpesh Patel, it's rumoured, was taking out $1 million a day from the platform. Keith Williams, Brenda Chunda. Now, Brenda Chunda was brought in for questioning. She was questioned early December for 3 hours. She had told these investigators that she had only ever received, get this, $1 million out of HyperVerse. Now, this is a solo mum that didn't have any hope in hell. Now, she has now become an informant. So she is now dobbing people in who are running this scam. This is why we haven't seen Brenda Chunda and Keith Williams. Keith Williams and Brenda Chunda are really close. Now, theoretically, if you do know Brenda Chunda, Bitcoin Rodney, who didn't move over to HyperNation because he thought it was a scam, and he was also given away, I think, 45 million HU dollars, which was proving that it was worthless. It's just a whole big saga. So even if they wanted to return the money, even if they did pay the hacker $400,000 and he took the money, there isn't enough money in the kitty to repay back people who haven't taken out their rewards already. So this whole lot of nonsense about the nonsense about trying to hook people into believing that they are trying to get their one-time reward is just bullshit. This is a straight-out Ponzi scheme. They don't have a product or service. They don't have any income stream other than people signing up for these membership plans which pay out rewards. They think they've got this sewn up. This is all part of an exit strategy. This is what you call a rug pull. I mean, you can't even get their coins or their tokens on any exchange. And I'm doing my best to name and shame anybody that is involved in this. So why has Sam Lee come back onto the scene? Why did HyperVerse come out with a ridiculous claim that they had been hacked and they hadn't been telling the community? And all of a sudden, 1 or 2 days after Sam Lee had started speaking to the community, they go, oh my God, we better do something to keep the community, because the community, we can still squeeze out a little bit of USDT. This is not rocket science, ladies and gentlemen. This is the hex science. Right, so the other weird thing, there was another organization called the Tashubi Show. I can't say that right. And you've got David, Troy, and Marcus. Now, David, Troy, and Marcus, basically when HyperVerse started freezing the withdrawals, they provided a haven, a place where people could go and discuss their woes, because the Discord and the Telegram groups were shutting people off that were saying negative things. And if you weren't deliriously positive and happy all the time, they would kick you out. So they provided a platform where people could go there and chat. And they put on this Zoom meeting, and it had 5,000 people in it. Not 1.5 million that have theoretically signed up, but they actually managed to get 5,000 people. Then they said to people that not to rely on HyperVerse giving their money back, but they should diversify. And then they showed them this thing called Novatech. And Novatech was ran by a lady and a husband that are bankrupt. And also that if you go to behindmlm.com and search for Novatech, you can see that they're currently being heavily investigated for criminal fraud stuff in an article which shows that's a Ponzi scheme. But anyway, the day after they managed to get 5,000 people, the day after they introduced the community to another Ponzi scheme, that was 2 days after that, Keith Williams was announced the global sales representative for HyperNation, washing his hands of HyperVerse and now claiming, going forward, not looking back, that they've ironed out all the creases and the bugs, and they were going to be, he was in charge of HyperNation. And also Brenda Chunda was then made the regional manager of, I think, the USA, and other people in his clout were made representatives of sales for other countries around the world. And it's utterly ridiculous. But this is the knee-jerk reaction that we're getting from HyperVerse, trying to keep the community, because they're obviously still squeezing fresh USDT out of people. We still don't know whether HyperVerse and HyperNation is a separate entity. They did a big, massive billboard campaign, which is ridiculous, selling NFTs. And the NFTs were basically just giving you the right to have access to the website. And then they would ask you for a whole lot of personal information so you could create an account. And then that was kind of like a backhander for the nightclub at the nightclub door. When you went up the stairs to the nightclub, you had to buy a membership package. And the whole lot's ridiculous. So What I see here is the community still paying out some USDT, and they're just trying to stop Sam Lee from stealing the community and introduce them to another Ponzi scheme like they have done in the past. Now, Sam Lee came out of hiding about 2 months ago. 2 months ago, Sam came out of hiding and introduced his new thing, which is Stable Dayo. Now, if you go to stable.limited, you'll see the website. I went through and did a whole intensive review on that website, and I showed you that they were using fake physical addresses, which was quite ironic, really. They were saying that they were based in London, and I've done a video about it, which is a shared office space, Regis, and now they're saying they're based in Tokyo, which is also a shared office space with Regis. Now, Regis does co-shared office spaces, so they don't even have a proper address. And also, if you go through stable.limited website, there's 5 people that are introduced to it that are actually, if you go through, you can follow them through onto their LinkedIn, and you can follow their LinkedIn correspondence, and they have a very few followings. So what I'm basically saying, Sam Lee's new idea hasn't really got traction. If you go to their YouTube channel, you can see they're posting videos that are getting 300 or 400 visitors, people viewing them. So nothing's really happening with his new idea. Now, I have inside information from, I've heard people who have talked to Sam Lee, and he laughs and he thinks this is a game, and he's telling people that it's all about pumping and dumping these crypto coins, and that's his main agenda. Now, whether that's true or not, you don't have to believe it, but that's what I've heard from the community that he hangs out with. The other one is Kalpesh Patel. I send Kalpesh a few messages, and every now and again I get a reply back from him. So I asked him in a WhatsApp message that very question. I asked him, "G'day, mate. I got to ask you this question. What do you think Sam Lee's motives are coming back and talking to the hyper community? I believe he's trying to steal the community and not to trust him as far as you can kick him." And he goes, 100%, he agrees. Screw them again, the community that is. Desperate members, which they are because they've all lost their money, and greedy leaders making horrific choices. So that was Kalpesh Patel's message to me on WhatsApp. And obviously he has left it, and now he's off promoting wewe.Global. So Ponzi scheme, Ponzi scheme, Ponzi scheme, and the VIP leaders that are often running these meetings are just shockers. So what I've got now, I've got Sam Lee. Now, if you're not familiar with my videos, I do long form content, and it gets a little bit difficult for people to watch a 2 or 3 hour video. Look at the description that I always post. I call timestamps or chapters. If you go into the description, I'm talking about, go to the very bottom of, see this area that says chapters, click view all, and you'll see that you can speed and forward to the part that you want. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to remember to do my clicker. That helps my lips line up when I'm in post edit. And then the next thing I'm going to do is every question that he gets asked, I'm going to write that down, and then I'm going to timestamp it. So you might not want to listen to the next 2 hours of question. I don't. I'm actually going to be trying to do this while I'm doing my other job. I do drop shipping for a living. I've got a whole lot of orders to process, so I'm going to do them on my main screen while I'm here. And over here, I've got a laptop which has got Sam Lee on it. And when I hear things, I want to put in my 2 cents worth. So hopefully this won't be more than a 3-hour video, because the original video is just over 2 hours. All right, let's get straight into it. This was my introduction. I'm Danny DeHeck. If you have any information about any scam that's going on at the moment, if we go to the workshop mode, you can go to deheck.com. By liking these videos, it makes a huge difference. It tells YouTube you like my videos, and they will send the videos out to the YouTube community. If you go to deheck.com, you'll see that I have a contact us button. If you click on that contact us button, it will actually give you a form where you can put your name, your email address. You can tell me the scam that you've been scammed by, the date that you put the money in, and how much you invested. You can be anonymous, or you can let me use it when I'm talking. And then you can put some questions. I get people every day. I'm going to tell you a couple of stories. I got one lady who rang me up telling me that her sister encouraged her to put $20,000 of her retirement money into the scheme. I had the joy of telling her, did you realize that your sister will receive 20% of that money as a reward just by introducing you to it? I said, go to a lawyer. and ask her for the $4,000 she received from you investing $20,000 and enjoy your retirement if you haven't put all your retirement money into HyperVerse. Another guy rings me up. He put $26,000 into HyperVerse. He lived off the passive income that they talk about. And this is what they're selling you. So this was way back at the beginning of 2022, put $26,000 in there. He quit his job and then he was going to live off the passive income and continue to promote HyperVerse. He now said he's got bills mounting up that he can't pay. His wife is the breadwinner. She's the one paying the rent. And he asked me if, he says, got no money at the moment, but when he does, could he hire me as a consultant to help him find another opportunity to invest in when he's got money again so he can get himself back on the feet? And I went, are you ridiculous? Anything to do with crypto, anything to do with multi-level marketing, anything that offers you a reward, and anything that has it's all a scam. The whole lot at the moment, there's a scam-demic going on at the moment. I said, I'm not going to help anyone. I've never invested in anything to do with crypto opportunities, and I'm not going to. This whole industry is unregulated. Everyone that runs these scams, they don't actually have a company. You can't find them. Everyone that's associated with this is in bed with each other. And these VIP 5s are getting approached by other organizations asking them to be influencers. And I've just done this massive video that took me 2 weeks to prepare about a guy called Steve McCullum. And Steve McCullum is running scams. And he's been giving away Cybertrucks and supercars and $3 million worth of crypto. And then would you believe the people that are winning these are the same people that are running things like Pinnacle and Vivian O'Reilly, I think his name is, well, the Irish guy, and also Mick, the voice of the presentation. So they're all in bed together, these guys, and they are the clowns and you are the audience. Stop giving these street performers your money. That's what I'm saying. All right, so now what we're going to do is going to go to the laptop. Here, I did have one other story to tell you. I had one guy ring me up. He'd put $5 million into HyperVerse. I said, oh my God, where did you get the money from? And he said, well, it's not my money, it's the family's money. And now the family are going to sue him. And he was asking me for help. And I want to help people like that. I really do believe I can. At the moment, obviously, I just mentioned Brenda Chunda has been an informant. And I think it's David. I heard on the grapevine that David, Marcus, David, and Troy, they run the Tashubi show. I always say it wrong, sorry, but I can't pronounce it. And I heard that either David is also helping investigators with finding who's behind HyperVerse. Now, I got a video, which I've showed in the video previous to this with the same sort of wallpaper in the background. And I have actually been given videos and photos of Ryan Zhu in an apartment, which to me, with my research, looks like it's in America. Now, I have heard from rumors that Ryan Zhu is under house arrest in America, but then on his birthday, I did see him out waveboarding. We've got videos on that on my shorts, on my YouTube channel, and also we've got him singing at karaoke bars. So once again, if you are in any know on where Ryan Zhu is and you have any information you want to name anonymous, I'll sign NDAs, non-disclosure agreements. That's right. I think I got that right. And I'm quite happy to keep you anonymous. I'm also part of two organizations called the Whistleblower Organization, that are using the information that I'm gathering to actually go after these guys. And just while I'm on my high horse, I spelled that wrong. Get that right. A database that I'm building on everybody I can. So I keep it. Millernote's a brilliant program. It's I'm not sponsored by them by any which way or form, but it's where I gather my database and I keep databases on people. So for example, if this works, I go to my scamdemics. I'm currently investing 50 scams at the moment. So I've got HyperVerse, HyperNation, the whole lot, wewe.Global, Luna, Super One, and I've got literally heaps and heaps of these. So if you looked at, let's use Carl. Now Carl did the video about telling everyone to get into Hypercosmos, and then 2 days after he did the video, he took all the videos down, which I've got on my Odyssey account, which if you go to the top of my YouTube channel, go to the top right-hand side, you'll see I've got an Odyssey account. A lot of my good videos I can't put on YouTube are there. And in here, you can see that I've gone through and I've found his home address. I found all the websites that he frequents on. I found all his usernames, all his social. And this information is basically, I click on a button over here called share, and I can copy that link and give it to the authorities, and they can go through what I have. So what I'm basically saying, guys, if you have any information on these guys, screenshots, conversations that are condemning, give them to me. I'll put them in the database, and much the same. At the moment, the good news is that Brenda Channa looks like she may get away with what she's doing, because she's now an informant, which is disgusting. She's obviously told the authorities she's only ever made $1 million out of HyperVerse. We know that's untrue. I heard that she had actually purchased 2 houses, one in Dubai and one somewhere else. I don't know whether that's true or not. I haven't actually built much data on her, but by all means, if you've got some content, give it to me and we'll go through it all. All right, so let's get stuck into it. Let's hear from Sam. Sam, it's your cue, mate. Here we go.
Hello. This is AJ. He's going to be co-hosting the call with me and going through the questions, initial questions. And guys, just as Sam said, it is a big deal. It's a breakthrough that we've got Sam here. This is someone that we've been showing on presentations for the last 2 or 3 years, and we've actually got him here with us. So Sam, thank you so much for making yourself available. And also, as Sam has said, even though we had to wait for him, he's going to give us ample time. So apologies for starting late, but he's here for us. So AJ, do you want to start going through the questions? We'll just go through one each, yeah?
Yeah, cool. I'll kick it off. Hi, Sam. My name's AJ. So I want to just start with the first question.
Just before I get started, as I said, go into the description. I will timestamp all the questions that they ask and find the one that interests you. Click on that timestamp, it will take to that part. So don't sit here and watch the whole video from A to Z. I'm sure you've got better things to do.
So when were you first aware of the issues in HyperVerse, and why have you decided to come forward now?
So I'm aware of the issues because, of course, what I've been doing at HyperFund was generating returns, right? Whether it's for a LP or a community, which is what the membership management company is, right? And what you guys interpret as corporate, right? I've made it fully visible in the sense that we've generated outsized returns that beat market conditions, right? We're talking about, when we started Hyper, it was $5,000 a Bitcoin. And then, at the peak of valuation of Bitcoin is 60,000. So we beat market conditions. And I thought there was plenty of money to go around. But that, unfortunately, for whatever reason, did not reach membership, right? And that is when, of course, I started to question and ask for transparency. I didn't get that. But unfortunately, because we operate such a large organization and, of course, key people at the top are key, I guess, how should
we run such a large organization at the top? I think these are the questions we'd like to know. Who's behind HyperVerse and who's this corporate people that you keep talking about? And if you were at the very start and there's only $5,000 Bitcoin in it at the start, and then you got up to 60,000, who's the we? And you obviously are at it from the beginning, and now to claim that you don't know anything about it, what's your agenda? So let's see what questions come out.
I put it, friends of mine, right? These are guys who.
So he's obviously talking about Ryan Zhu. Now, if you're not familiar with Ryan Zhu, where are we? Back. That's Ryan Zhu crying on his birthday, who seems to be under house arrest. One other thing I didn't mention, which is quite interesting about Sam Lee, he is an Australian. He set up Blockchain Global, and he managed, after 3 attempts, to get it on the Australian Stock Exchange. And then he got $50 million worth of investments from people who believe the blockchain. And then all of a sudden the money went missing. Now, liquidators are looking for $21 million worth of that money that they can't account for. and he's gone into hiding. Now, when he was doing the last video that I recorded him over, he was actually in the same time zone as me, which does mean he may actually still be in Australia somewhere. However, the authorities cannot find him. And if you go and do a search for Sam Lee and Blockchain Global, you will see that authorities are looking for him. So do you really want to be part of a group of people which are harboring fugitives, basically?
You know, I ate with and bled with for,
Sounds a bit gross.
you know, the last 2-3 bull bear cycles, right? And they always came through. You know, these are honorable people. So, you know, when this all of a sudden happened, it caught me off guard. And I unfortunately needed to give them enough time to deal with this, to drive a outcome that would be acceptable. And they made promises to you, made promises to me, and you know what? I'm still hopeful that they will do the right and honourable thing.
So if you're not familiar with the background, go and search for a YouTube channel called Project Frugal. And it's a mate of mine in Wellington. I live in Christchurch, New Zealand. He did 10 videos on the whole history of HyperVerse. He's done a fantastic job. And I showed this in my last video, what I did live, and my audio gear couldn't keep up and I had to delete it. But basically, we've got photos of Ryan Zhu, Sam Lee, and another guy called... I've forgotten. It starts with A. Adam, not Adam. Anyway, he doesn't seem to be in the picture anymore. They were responsible for setting up, they were working together in a company called Bitcoin Group. And then they formed a company called Collinstar Capital. And then Collinstar Capital was theoretically the company behind HyperVerse. And then Collinstar Capital actually bought 40% of Blockchain Global, which is Sam's company. So what I'm saying is, if Ryan Zhu has now been thrown under the bus by Sam Lee, it is kind of unusual that he's doing this, but he's still hoping his friend that he's been doing work with for decades is actually still good for it. And this, to me, is what he's trying to do, is obviously build a relationship with the community and get trust. And this is why the knee-jerk reaction from HyperVerse, corporate, whoever it is, doesn't even seem like it's Ryan Zhu, have come out with this ridiculous claim that they actually had a hacker steal everyone's wallet in their super encryption fortress of a system. Some hacker had got in there and managed to get all the money out, which is $4 billion, theoretically going by their figures, and then hold them to ransom because they managed to talk to FTX and also Binance, which aren't the only exchanges on the market, and managed to freeze this hacker from transferring lots of money out. What is this ridiculous joke? And then after this clever hacker that managed to hack in, couldn't figure out how to get the Bitcoin into a bank account, he decided to go back to them after talking to them for 10, 12 months and take the $400,000 that they had an offer on, knowing that he's got $2 billion worth, or $4 billion worth going by them, of money sitting there. Yeah, he only got paid out $400,000. It sounds like a whole lot of porkies to me. Anyway, carry on building that trust with the community, Sam.
So I'm supportive of whatever they are doing because I'm sure they have good intentions. But the thing is, even if they have good intentions, there needs to be a plan, and there needs to be transparency of that plan. And given that I've waited around long enough for that visibility and transparency, and it has not come through, I'm here right now and broadcasting to the community my intentions to move forward with the industry and with the community.
Thanks, Sam. The second question is, which you've answered somewhat, is can you tell us why did the payout stop back in February, March last year? Why did the payouts to the members stop?
I unfortunately don't have visibility on that because even though as technology providers, we develop, export, and they then deploy. right? So you have to understand my visibility into what is liable and what is owed, and how big the community is not with me. That is just matter of fact, right? And that's the thing, right? I'm here because I don't have all the answers. If I have all the answers, we would have negotiated a solution long ago.
So it sounds like there's your department, and then there's the department of them running the company, and you've not had visibility into the whole picture of what's going on. Would that seem fair to say?
I don't think there is any ill intent in them not giving me visibility, but the fact is, waiting for market conditions to improve is not a solution, because market conditions can, not improve for a very long period of time, and the community needs answers, and not only answers, they need solutions. So, I've never had a situation where I've broken any contracts, right? And the outcome of those contracts are always somewhat positive in an industry that allows you to issue and create new forms of value, right? So in a shorter form, right? We're in an industry that prints money. How could you not make money, right? How could you not make money for a community? I just don't understand. Right. So I've always delivered, and it just is unfortunate we're in a situation where I don't have the visibility to continue to deliver, because, I have delivered in Hyperfund, but that hasn't gone to membership for some reason.
I don't understand that. I have delivered in Hyperfund. Hyperfund rebranded, and he even come out in the presentation as one of the speakers on the presentation that was broadcasted. So to actually say he's delivered on Hyperfund is just, to me, offering people false hope that he's got some magical wand. These guys are scamming. I'm not endorsing anyone here. The announcer, Sam Lee, they're all as bad as each other. So that's the honest truth of it. Everyone's hoping that they're going to come up with a solution. And to me, this just disgusts me.
Okay,
AJ? So currently, where are the billions of dollars that came into HyperVerse, and can they not be used to give people their 1x back?
So again, I run, two things, right? A technology company and a funds management company. So the funds management company has delivered, right? So I don't understand why membership is not being paid out. That's a big question mark for me, right?
You've got no money, mate.
In terms of how I see this moving forward is, I need to, on your behalf, pressure some visibility out of corporate, and I think that's already happening.
Yeah, that's why they've done an announcement that they got scammed.
They are in a position where they are trying to find solutions, right? Given how I am now being very upfront with you guys, and I'm under NDA, so I can't share everything with you guys, but it is enough information for you guys to make decisions on how you guys want to act.
I'm sorry, but is there a legal entity behind this now, Sam? Under NDA? What a load of crap. There's no entity behind this. There's no legalities. This is friggin' fake everything.
Moving forward. And that gives an enormous amount of pressure to them to align with the community.
Thanks. Next question. Do you have any idea of the scale of the problem? How much is the 1x total?
Yeah, good question.
No. And that's why I've reached out to the community to begin this discovery process.
Okay, and are we safe to assume? I'll answer this question, AJ, because they're linked. Are we safe to assume that people's 1x is still priority, and is anything above that available?
If that's a promise by corporate, I obviously have not made that promise, and I have delivered returns. So, it is up to us to really work together, first to define what 1x is, and then deliver, right? And that is, again, a promise by corporate, right? If it was me at the head of a ship, I could have made a very different decision, right? But at the end of the day, a decision cannot be made by me right now because of the lack of visibility.
God, I mean, what really gets me about this is they're just throwing each other under the bus. And don't forget, this is a made-up bus. There's no such bus. I mean, this corporate thing that they hide under. I mean, when I've ever heard of anyone talking about they've got information from corporate, it's coming to them through a Telegram chat bot channel. So it's no board members, no table of people sitting around having a discussion, and then the official documents come flying out to all the people that are behind it. This is all a bunch of independent people chatting to some app, and we don't know who's behind the app. Now, it could be the mafia, who knows? And the bigger picture of this, it just could be used for money laundering. And we don't know who the organization's behind it. The Chinese mafia comes to mind in my eyes.
Okay.
Any view on how long it will take for people to at least receive their 1x?
No, I have no visibility.
Okay. Arvind, shall I just ask the next one?
You go for it.
So there was a recent article that was on Medium. Just basically, was that a genuine article regarding HyperVerse? I don't know if you've seen it or not.
I've asked the question, but I only have one board meeting a month with corporate, and in that board meeting, it's always just about their delays, right? It's like,
I've got to keep interrupting here. This is stupid. So he tells me that he's got no visibility of what's happening, and now he admits, which I've never heard him say this before, that he has only one meeting a month. Don't forget, this guy's been in hiding and no one's seen him for 8-9 months, and he's come out with his own Ponzi scheme that isn't working, and now he's trying to be in here and steal the community. And he's telling me that these board meetings that he has with corporate, where do you have these board meetings? Is it physical? Is it on Telegram groups? Is it on, WhatsApp? Is it on whatever? However, you mean they never mentioned anything about the alleged hack? This was their main concern. All the money had gone. Everyone stopped being paid out, and they never mentioned anything about being hacked. Carry on, Sam.
What's supposed to happen this month becomes next month, right? I mean, it is because I am disheartened by, how slow things are moving. That is why I'm here, to really reach out to everyone and produce a solution. Because you have to understand, right? A real business has contingency plans to be successful in a bear market. Right? You just don't say, oh, let's wait until the market recovers and then deal with it, right? So the objective really now is to get some visibility on that. And the thing is, if I get visibility, I'm able to help them, right? But right now, I can only try and get some visibility by applying indirect pressure through the community. By being in front of you guys, I think we've already begun the process of doing that.
Bullshit.
AJ, you want to carry on with the next question as well?
So I've lost my train of thought here.
Of course we have. We've all lost our train of thought.
It's just, can you clarify the relationship, if any, between HyperNation and HyperVerse / the Hypertech group, please?
So Hypertech is a technology company. Excuse me. Hypertech is a technology company. I've always stated that in every single media release and press release and video. you know, and as a technology company, we're responsible for driving the adoption of blockchain, you know, and that has happened. But of course, what people do with that technology is, you know, is
Get a drink of water,
you
Sam.
know,
Come up with bullshit, Sam. You can do it.
let's put it this way.
Okay.
I always believe blockchain will drive a more transparent and equitable future,
Oh,
right?
not the answer.
But that needs to start from transparency between you and me, right? And somehow along the way, because I have trusted people to deliver, and I still want to believe that they will deliver. I still have hope that they will deliver, right? But you know, because it's relying on a third party, you're relying on a third party, I'm relying on a third party, it is no longer in our hands, right? And I don't want that to be ever the scenario moving forward.
Okay, and just the relationship between HyperNation and HyperVerse?
Yeah, answer the question, Noddy.
I don't know.
As
He
in
doesn't
the
know.
relationship, so does
Oh my God, he doesn't know. This is ridiculous.
HyperNation also sit under the Hypertech group, or is that a complete separate entity?
Boom.
We provide technology. We use outdated database to test the technology.
Answer the question.
Right. And therefore, as a technology provider, we make fees from that technology, right? But ultimately, we're under NDA. So there is
bullshit.
Very little visibility I have access to
What an idiot.
to really do anything, because we're using outdated databases. Like, we only have, you know, a test data of 10,000 users. You know, and I'm pretty sure the HyperCommunity is much larger than that.
Yep. Okay.
Didn't answer the
Fair enough.
question.
Sam, question. What funds do you have access to that are in your visibility that can be used to pay people their 1x back?
Love it.
And if so, what amount?
So that's also under NDA.
Oh, rubbish.
But there are some funds, right? And that's not reached maturity. I'm in a position to, I'm legally obligated to hand those funds over. You know, that's a matter of fact, right? But you know, if the community gives me visibility, then I could.
What a load of rubbish. Legally obligated. There's nothing legal here, guys.
You know, potentially withhold those funds to at least do something, right? But at this point in time, right, without your support, I'll have to just, once these funds reach maturity, hand those funds over.
What do you mean by reach maturity?
Yep.
Well, you know, our fund structure is 3+2, so it's a 5-year fund. You know, but you could early, you could have an early exit at the 3-year mark. It's pretty common, especially in the crypto world, right? Because the bull market comes roughly once every 3 years. So we'll be able to create a nice exit for our investors every 3 years.
When does the 3-year total finish?
It finishes at the end of 2023.
Okay. Next question, 2 questions left. HyperNation has got people in masks, Mr. H, and he seems to be discussing very similar values to Ryan Yu in terms of how Ryan Yu came across in the next blockchain. Is Ryan Yu heading HyperNation?
So I'll just say my point of view. I always believed in creating education, and that is why, you know, I came on the journey of doing this with an affiliate marketing model, right? So I always believed that educators should be rewarded, right? Leaders should be rewarded for bringing more people into this industry. So what you guys have done is nothing short of spectacular. But more importantly, I I always believed in things being deployed in the following order: education, regulation, and innovation. If you innovate first without regulation or education, then you're probably in a situation where you're building something that nobody cares about or wants, right? And so, it's just a similar saying back in 2008 when, I was working at an ad agency, right? And it was a common joke around the water cooler that, oh, let's just create an app for that, right? There's an app for that, right? And now it seems like 15 years on, there's a blockchain for that, right? Blockchain is not supposed to be implemented everywhere and anywhere. The objective of blockchain is to build trust and transparency. But first, it has to start from us. So in terms of HyperNation, I believe that it is one of the solutions that members are driving to create an outcome with corporate. And corporate is in a position to drive an outcome. But the problem is, I'm not involved. So I don't really have that much else to say that could give you visibility of who Mr. H is, etc.
But do you know if Ryan Yu is heading HyperNation?
I don't know.
And the last question before we hand it over to the audience is, where is Ryan Yu? Why is he not coming forward?
Well, where is Satoshi? Why is he not coming forward, right? Look, I just wanted to, I guess, give Ryan Zhu, who is a co-founder of many of my companies, he's a visionary, and he performs very, very well in a bull market, right? He comes up with great ideas that really, it's like hitting the ball out of the park, right? I did not even know where that came from, right? But the problem is, I've always done everything with him transparently, right? So I'm not saying I don't trust him. No, I
All right, so where is Ryan Ju? As I said at the beginning of this video, here is Ryan Ju, which seems to be under house arrest, I should say, doing his vacuuming in an apartment. Now, I went through the apartment, checked out all the light fittings, and as far as I can tell, it does look like he's actually in America, because these are the same as the Americans. He looks like he's in an apartment. So that's one thing. But then if I go back here, I can see I've had videos of him sent to me by someone. Now, the t-shirt that he was wearing while doing the vacuuming was the same as the t-shirt of him here singing at a karaoke bar. This does not look like someone's home. This looks like some place. Do you know where it is? If so, go to my website and give me information if you know where that is. Now, on his birthday, I actually got a video sent to me of him doing the vacuuming, singing at karaoke bars, and also videos of him actually waveboarding and falling off, which you'll see in a few minutes. Now, I asked the person that sent me these videos for more information, and they asked me to sign an NDA saying I wouldn't dob them in. I asked them for the air connection with Ryan Ju, where he is, and they said to us they were providing him karaoke services, and there was a special name for it, which I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was based in New York. And they said they were providing, need I say, adult services to Ryan Ju. Now, looking at the information that I have on his location, what I actually see here is someone who may have met him at a karaoke bar, who knew who he was, who did a video of him. Somehow they have managed to spend his birthday with him, which would make sense, having someone providing adult services, and obviously filming him in the morning perhaps with the same t-shirt on, doing the vacuuming. That's my guess on it. Don't know about yours. But anyway, let's go back to Ryan Zhu, and I can't wait to listen to the questions from the viewers, and no doubt you can as well. So far we've had questions such as, when were you first aware of the issues of HyperVerse? Can you tell us when the payment, why the payment stopped? Where's the millions of dollars? And is it possible for them to actually pay back people? Do you have any idea what the problem was? How long will it take? Normal questions. What about the article that they produced about the hacker? Are you aware of that? This has happened after this. And then we've got things right down to, what funds do you have access to that he could potentially pay back the community that's waiting for their one times at the moment? And then he talks about how his funds are all tied up in some fund and that will mature at 2021. And then they ask a good question, is Ryan Zhu heading HyperNations? Because a lot of the HyperNation education that's coming out of HyperNation does seem a lot like Chinese sort of beliefs and character. And he asked him if he knew where Ryan Zhu is, and he doesn't. However, obviously, it does look like he's in America under house arrest. So let's carry on and see what Sam has to say.
Trust that he will do the right thing, but, you know, I want to do things front and center with full visibility of regulators and say, this is what I'm doing. You have to understand, my history in this industry is I accidentally convinced a whole bunch of very normal people to buy Bitcoins from 2010, 11, 12, 13, right? And all of a sudden, when Bitcoin went from cents to $10, and in 2013 went from $10 to $1,000, a lot of us became retardedly wealthy, right? And the government of Australia, which is the country we lived in the middle of nowhere, right, just had to ask, is the money that we made legitimate? And the thing was, no one was willing to deal with them. I was willing to deal with them alongside some key legal experts to create the first regulation in this industry and say, look, you know, treat this as a lottery ticket. We won the lottery, and now let's pay some taxes. So yes, I guess there's a bunch of...
Yeah, but you set up a company called Blockchain Global. If you go to Project Frugal on YouTube, you can watch the whole unfolding of Blockchain Global. If you go to my YouTube account, you'll see how Blockchain Global, his company, has actually done a runner with $50 million. And for him to sit here and say he's some sort of hero, I'm a New Zealander. We live 3.5 hours flight from Australia, not the same country in case you're wondering, Mr. America. And here he is, he's defrauded Australians out of their money by claiming to set up regulated cryptocurrency so people can pay taxes. Contradictions here. This is not a good guy. This is a scammer.
Libertarians, you know, in the crypto space that really don't enjoy the fact that I introduced the first tax into this industry, but it is the step in the right direction, right? The objective is the government needs their share so that we're able to, you know, be looked after by the facility that, you know, the government provides in terms of infrastructure.
Okay, Sam, thank you so much. That wraps up the generic questions. We're now going to, AJ, we'll do this together because it's quite a few.
I actually think they could have done a hell of a lot better with those questions. I mean, why can't you tell us who corporate is? How did you get introduced to corporate? How long has corporate been established? Are they an entity? Are they a registered business? Out of what country are they operating? That's just a few questions at the very top of my head. Of course, I've done 150 videos about all this, so I've got lots of questions. And how does he sleep at night would be the other one I'd be asking. This is a scammer, and he's trying to take the community. Ask him questions like, why did he start up Stable Deo, Stable.Limited, if you go to the website address. Why did he start this company? Why isn't this getting traction? Why does he think, what does he think of FTX collapse? All these sort of questions would be quite interesting to ask. Maybe the people that are about to ask questions will ask him those very questions.
We're going to go to the audience now. And if you want to ask a question, just raise your hand. And just to remind you, because there's quite a few people that have questions, please don't take it personally if we suddenly mute you. It's just because we've got to give people an opportunity to ask questions as well. And then you can come back around the circle and ask your question. So if you've got a list of 6 questions, please only ask one. And then you can work around as well. Let me go to gallery. Okay, so let's go with Eranga. And AJ is timing this, guys. So apologies if you suddenly get cut off. So keep your questions very short and sweet, and then hand over to Sam.
Thank you, Sam, for reaching us. Very quickly, you did refer to corporate. Who is corporate? This has always been an issue for us, and we thought you were part of corporate as well. So who is corporate? And also you did mention about you want to work with the community, you want to work with us. So what exactly do you expect from the community to move forward and, ideally recover the 1x and, do more?
I am under NDA still. The answers I have for corporate is quite limited, but I am on the board of corporate, but the access to the right level of visibility can only happen if I'm majority on the board. This is just standard company structures, right? It's just I'm not able to twist and turn, and I've tried that, didn't get any answers, and that's why I'm here, right? To give you guys a level of visibility so that we're able to move forward, right? And if we're moving forward in multiple directions, that's fine as well. But at least, I am putting my foot on the ground and saying, this is where I stand and this is where I would like to move forward from.
So how do we move forward as a community and with yourself, Sam?
So
I thought you'd have one question each.
Firstly, I don't have access to the database. If I'm able to advocate for the Hyper community, I need Hyper community to be enrolled in my database. So what that needs to look like is we need to recreate the structures that we have, right, in Hyper, right? And let's not talk about like referral rewards and all this kind of stuff, right? Let's just talk about, who's upline, right? And just roughly similarly just enroll under your existing upline, right? Once I have that database, I'm able to introduce tokenomics to the top 500 companies in the world. Not all of them would want to do anything that has anything to do with crypto or tokens, right? But, the thing is, if companies don't do anything with tokens, they are missing out, right? Because just like how I see this industry being trusted and transparent, I believe that companies can benefit from accelerated revenue if they are able to tap into not only the stock market, which is issuing equities, and not only issuing debt, which is, corporate bonds, etc., but also issuing tokens, right? Because what happens when a consumer buys something, right? It makes the stock price go up. It makes a company more valuable. But are you, as a consumer, getting any benefit from that, right? The answer is no. So that's why creating a tokenomic is very important, because all of a sudden you are benefiting from the success of a system that is backed by the largest company in the world, right? So my objective really is to advocate for a community. But unless I have roughly a similar database that is structured, that I have full visibility on and control of, I cannot advocate for you guys.
Oh, what a load of rubbish. So this is what I've been going on about the whole time. He's just trying to steal the hyper community. He knows that HyperNation and Hyper Cosmos are still rinsing out money from people who are buying in these yellow, purple, platinum NFTs, and he wants to get control of the community so he can allegedly go back and get them a one-time reward that theoretically had been stolen by some hacker. This is just bullshit on bullshit on bullshit. This is a dirty, disgusting Australian scammer.
If that's coming, we want to replicate that database because I think what we have is magical. You know, what has been achieved by you guys is beyond extraordinary, but it now needs to be put into real businesses. And it can only be put into real businesses that we can accelerate if it's built on a business model that already exists.
Thanks. Alberto, before you ask a question, Kapila Jayasena, you've got your hand up. I can only add you to the spotlight if you've got your video on. Yeah. So if you want to ask a question, you're gonna have to put your video on.
Good.
Alberto, go
Stop
for it.
hiding. You want to be in here?
Good evening, or good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you are. First of all, I would like to thank.
So this guy here is quite interesting. Actually, I'm just taking note of his name. I've actually seen him running meetings back to back, promoting HyperVerse. And he's been in the community for a long time, so it's no surprise to see him here. However, I've actually never actually listened to him ask a question.
Winna, Ajay, and Bui, the other guy to actually provide this for everybody. So, and Sam Lee, thank you very much for taking the opportunity as well to give us some clarity. My question was actually asked by the previous person. However, you keep going on to the database that you need the database from the community. How me personally, like being a leader of quite a few people, I was actually doing the presentations in Spanish of HyperVerse. And one of the things that I actually noticed is why did they, because to me, it was kind of a diversion from HyperVerse into HyperNation. It was what I felt like it was like to take the importance of what was going on with HyperVerse and make everybody concentrate on HyperNation. However, we were not given the opportunity to gather whatever we had in HyperVerse and transfer it completely to HyperNation. You had to put more funds in, and that's one of the things that actually made me a bit more upset. I'm not going to say angry because, you know, at the end of the day, I made the decision to come on board, but it made me upset on the sense that I cannot do anything with those funds that are still in there. I haven't got, and my wife haven't got our 1x out yet. And I can see that they're creating this HyperNation and now HyperCosmos.
I may be wrong who this guy is, but I'm sure I've seen him on here before. I thought he was one of the VIP 5s and he's been promoting it like hell. But then he says he's never taken any money out, never received his 1x. And this actually is a really good point. A lot of people have never taken their money out of it because they truly believe that this was the best investment opportunity. And they were told that this is replacing retirement money. So it's kind of ridiculous in a way, the fact that I might be mistaken who this guy is because I don't know. However, he's never taken any money out. He's waiting for his 1x and he's put a lot into it. And he may have been promoting it. Who knows? Anyway, let's carry on.
And it's like we are lost in transaction, if that makes sense, in transition, because we are left behind. So how can me personally, as one of the community members, help you on representing me or representing us?
I think firstly, just by doing these Zooms, we are making this issue louder, right? And you know, that is a step in the right direction, right? In terms of where I want to take the community moving forward, is building businesses transparently, with the largest corporations in the world. So I'm not asking for more money to be put in to be a part of anything new, right? I think what happened with HyperNation and HyperCosmos, is great. That they still want to try and move things forward, right?
So is HyperNation, HyperCosmos, because it does sound like HyperVerse in their letters created HyperCosmos to give people the opportunity to give their monies back that have lost it. And I went through that at the start if you go back to my introduction, so I won't go into that again. But now it does seem like either HyperVerse set up HyperCosmos, but then they talk about HyperNation also using HyperCosmos. So I want to know who it is as well, because they're claiming these are all the same entity, and then they're giving no certainty that they're not saying that HyperNation is a separate or the same entity. Now, why that's interesting may not interest you. However, they did a one kick-ass marketing campaign with a whole lot of billboard advertising, even in Times Square, that would have cost millions of dollars. And one would use logic, saying that they fleeced the community, took all the money out of HyperVerse, used the money to promote and do billboard advertising the hell out of HyperNation, thinking they're going to go there and they're going to even make more money than they did with HyperNation than they did from scamming HyperVerse. And then they claim that they actually got the money from selling NFTs. Now, I don't know about you guys, but not many billboard companies would bank on the fact that they would do advertising, sell NFTs, then get paid for the advertising. So they must have had to cash flow that concept from somewhere. That's my take on it.
But I'm here to create
havoc,
scams, absolute transparency.
Whatever. Why didn't you do it in the past?
And that starts with me talking to you right now.
No, it doesn't. It should have started 12 months ago.
At least moving forward, we'll be in a position where you know exactly where I stand on the matters at hand and how to move things forward, right? Because right now it feels like everybody's swimming.
No, he's fallen out with the people, obviously, in HyperVerse, and now he's sticking it to them by coming in here and causing mayhem. It's not rocket science, it's the heck science.
But they're not even sure if they're swimming in the right direction, right?
How do you know that?
And that is not what leadership is. Leadership is where...
Leadership is creating an account called Blockchain Global, managing to get it onto the Australian Stock Exchange, claiming that you did it because you want to help Australian governments claim taxes from crypto, and then running off with $50 million worth of investors' money, and you're a fugitive. The liquidators are looking for you, Sam.
We sit down, we look at the problems, and we find solutions together. And the first thing I'm doing is first recreating the database that you guys have, right, of the membership.
No, he's asking the HyperCommunity to give him a database of everyone that's in it. Now, where's Keith? Brenda now informing the police. So if you know Brenda Chanda, she's probably at the moment at the police station, all the authorities telling them everything that she knows about people running this scam so she can save her own bacon. I have inside information that she got arrested in the beginning of December, questioned for 3 hours. She told the investigators that she had only ever made $1 million out of HyperVerse. However, she has 2 houses that she's purchased since she's become a VIP 5, one in Dubai, I heard, and another one in wherever she lives. Now, the idea behind that is so she's got somewhere to run. So where is Brenda Chanda, and why hasn't Keith been on here lately? It's because Keith and Brenda are very close together, and I'm sure Brenda will not be throwing Keith Williams under the bus. If you're not familiar with who I am, I'm the crypto Ponzi scheme avenger, busted Keith Williams in a Zoom meeting one day, and the New York Times actually did an article on me, and they featured an article of me interviewing a guy called Mike Lucas, and we were literally asking Keith Williams to return his pension money that he stole from him. So, yes, interesting enough, Keith doesn't message me anymore. He used to all the time. Funny that. Anyway, so let's carry on and listen to this shit.
Inside a system that I have full access and visibility on, right? So that I could advocate right? And you know what? Worst case scenario, what we have is me getting some free airdrops to the next 100 projects that I'm involved in, right? But at least that's a beginning, right? That's a beginning of helping everyone move forward, because you have to understand there are diamonds in the rough that will come into this industry in the future.
Rubbish.
And if we are a big community and a strong community, then I could advocate a big outcome for everyone.
Oh, rubbish. Absolutely. Scammer.
John, do you want to ask your question, buddy?
So, Mr. Lee, with all due respect, I'm old enough to be your grandfather, and I've seen a lot of different things happen in my lifetime. But what has happened here is very disconcerting. And to hear you talking about building new businesses when everything points to the fact that you don't have any control at this point. We all believe that you and Ryan were the face of the business. We all told your story with passion, and then it changed and it changed tracks. Now you're asking us to believe that you're going to do other businesses and give us airdrops and tokens and other things, when all that people really want is to get their money back so that they can move to opportunities that are real rather than imagined. So
brilliant. I like John. I wish he was my father. He's asking the best question I've heard today. Here we go. Why do we trust you? Why do we have to follow you into another project? Brilliant question, John. Really proud of you, mate.
I don't know why you have an NDA, why there is always them, a corporate side that you don't seem to have any control over. To me, it's...
Oh, brilliant. I mean, what is this NDA bullshit? That's basically saying I'm not telling you, and I can't because some legal entity is going to prosecute you. You're just full of shit, Sam. This is such a brilliant question. You hide behind these things, and then you expect us to believe. I'm not involved financially with any of these scams, by the way, but I'm just disgusted. But this guy is brilliant. Well done, John.
Inconceivable that somebody that had the amazing resources that you and Ryan had, we bragged about, would be reduced to this level of no power. Would you explain that to me?
Brilliant.
So thank you for this question. It is inconceivable for many people, but then again, John, this is the first time we've talked. So you have to understand, right?
No, it's not. You were talking 2 or 3 days ago, because in between that, HyperVerse has come out with announcements that they actually got hacked, and that's the true story, not the true story of the multiple accounts and the bear market crashing and HyperVerse. No. So you've had lots of time to think about this question. So what avoiding techniques are you going to use?
My mobile phone number is my WhatsApp message application.
What's that number?
Right? And it's out there on the internet. If people look for me hard enough and just say nice things to me instead of threatening me.
I never threatened you, Sam Lee, but you did message me on LinkedIn, and I did say nice things, and you wrote back saying, "What do I want?" I mean, what?
I would respond with full transparency and full honesty.
We'll do it here.
But the problem is,
I just want to know what's going on.
I understand, but unfortunately, when people lose money, they always look for someone to blame. I don't mind being the person that people blame as long as they have visibility in what's going on. So I am first and foremost here to provide that level of visibility so that you guys can blame me, right? Because at the end of the day, I did trust people. I made mistakes.
All right, so on the left-hand side, you've actually got the HyperCommunity presentation version 2.0, and you've got Ryan Zhu and you've got Sam Lee being the head of this whole project. Now, if this was my face in here, you know what I'd do? I would be suing the asses off whoever was running this presentation, which was Mick he works for Cork FM, and he's an announcer there every now and again. Now, I would be suing the ass of that guy for playing a video of me if I didn't agree what was going on here.
You know, and I've waited around long enough for the mistakes to be rectified, thinking that there will be a magic bullet.
And just while we're on the bandwagon here, this guy, Stephen Rees-Lewis, well, as I always say in my videos early on, Stephen Rees-Lewis, he was told that he was strong in IT, fintech background, Goldman and Sachs. He sold his web development company to Adobe, launched an IT consulting startup blockchain industry with $10 million with angel investors. His IT company was purchased by Hypertech Group and other various roles in the group. Who was promoted to CEO of HyperVerse. Now, this guy does not exist anywhere. We've gone through all the news announcements of Adobe around this time when he claimed to have sold his business to Adobe. We couldn't find anything to do with fintech. I've even put $100 reward out there for people who will give me leads to the real Stephen Rees-Lewis. So my point is, these guys have been out there telling you lies after lies after lies after lies, and he's still back for another round trying to steal the community of whoever HyperVerse is. And hence why, are they happy about it? No, they aren't. Hence why they come out with an announcement after he first pulled out his ugly head in the HyperCommunity thing. And last time somebody tried stealing the community was Troy, David, and Marcus from the Toshubi show. And the very 2 days after that, they announced that Keith Williams was now the global sales representative for HyperNation, washing his hands of HyperVerse. So you can see it's all about the community, and the community has the money. They're the ones that think, oh, I might put a little bit of more money in and give them some more fresh USDT. These guys do not care about anyone else except themselves, and they're trying to get the rest of the money out of it. Now, I showed them the other day, as soon as they come out with that announcement that Sam Lee, the announcement that they had been hacked by some cyber hacker into their bulletproof system, I followed a Telegram group, and I was number 57 in there. And if you go to the very top of the Telegram group called HyperNation in brackets UK, you will see that they now have over 10,000 people who have joined this in the last 48 hours. I used to be able to post in that group. Now, all of a sudden, 10,000 people turned up in that group with their hand out saying, where's the money? Ironically, I can't post in that group anymore, but you'll see my messages if they haven't been delivered at the top of that group. Now, the point of that there is that there's 10,000 people wanting their money back, believing this crap, I think. They don't believe it and don't follow and never invest any more money, and it's impossible for them to give their money back. So carry on, Sam.
You know, there will be an outcome, right? And guess what? I think based on the latest article that came out, you know, things are moving hopefully in the right direction for corporate to deal with this mess. But I myself come here with a clean conscience, knowing that I have been in a position, unfortunately compromised, but from a perspective that, you know, involves, you know, all the contractual obligations I have, right? I'm not legally compromised, right? I'm morally compromised for sure, right? But I'm not legally compromised, because me being legally compromised does not help anyone in this room. It doesn't help anyone in this room.
Bullshit.
Right? So my objective is, here I am.
John knows he's twice, 3 times your age. He knows you're full of shit, mate.
You know, in front of everyone, trying to deal with this, right? And it is not giving everybody the answers that they are hoping for or looking for, but at least it's a start.
It started a year ago, mate.
Okay, I wish you luck, and I wish the rest of us luck waiting for you. Thank you.
God.
Thanks, John. Kapila, let me just unmute you. Just unmute yourself, Kapila. Yeah, you have to press the unmute button. That's it. Maybe not.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you now. Okay, you've gone again.
Oh my God, really? I ain't got time for this shit. I've got to duck away. I'm going to leave this plane.
Kapila, while you
And
sort
hopefully
that
I'll come
out,
back
you might
before
want
it
to go onto a
finishes.
laptop or something. I'm going to bring Rick on. Rick, do you want to unmute yourself?
I hope you can hear me. Hi, Sam. Thank you very much for joining the call. We do appreciate it. I want to move the conversation maybe to a slightly different angle, and I appreciate you might not be able to disclose everything. But any recovery will only ever be as strong as the organisation behind it. So I was wondering if you could tell us what is going on, assuming it's the Hypertech group that is behind this. What's going in that group? We're in a bear market. We're in a crypto winter. We've seen lots of big corporations fall. Can you tell us something about what's going on with Hypertech?
So we're a technology company, and we sell technology regardless of market conditions, right? Actually, we've been able to continue growing in this market condition because we're perfectly positioned to take over the development of projects and companies that can no longer afford to have, an overbloated development team. And you have to understand, right, when a company struggles to raise enough capital to maintain their staffing, they outsource. And when they outsource, they do it in a way where they're looking at the lowest cost option, right? And because we've been in this industry for a long time,
So this is the dumb thing. If you're not familiar with Ryan Jew once came out and said that he had 1,000 people coding for him. So for Sam Lee to come out and say that his Hypertech company, this is actually quite a clever way of trapping him, but the Hypertech company is theoretically booming and everything's going so well. So he wants to find out more about Hypertech, like theoretically, if Hypertech's doing so well, maybe they've got lucrative and they might be able to pay back people's one-time sin. His involvement in HyperVerse, where people lost $4 billion, is so amazingly strong, if you get where I'm coming from. However, Hypertech, now he's claiming that everything's outsourced. Now, that outsourced thing's a great, easy way to say it's all outsourced. Still takes a lot of management to outsource everything, and it's the same old record. I think I've even got a noise of a record player here. Yep, it's the same old record that Ryan used to say. So, really?
It means, is that what you're looking for? Well, actually, let me pull it off the shelf, dust it off, and then just spin it up on some Amazon servers. So it's not hard for us to continue to grow in this market condition. But what I think is distraction for our technology company is, for example, the article that came out yesterday, right, saying that there was a hack, the money was recovered, and this is us wanting to distribute the money after 9 whole months, right? Because that's not me. If you look into Google early history, when our company got hacked, we announced it right away. And we also announced a solution by basically saying to our LPs that we will make them whole. Of course, it wasn't a lot of money back then, but it was a lot of money to us back then. So you have to understand that was us committing to transparency, to an outcome, and the negativity of the article, I won't go into any further, but it just feels like, a cheap shot to say that, after doing technology in this industry for so long that, we delivered hackable technology. It's just laughable. So I'm quite proud of my team, and we don't want to be in a position where my team feel disappointed seeing these articles pop up, and unfortunately, I spent a lot of time yesterday just, saying to my team that this is not a reflection.
All right. So where do you operate out of, Sam? What country is your team? And do you have an office? So you have a company called Hypertech Group. And funny enough, there's another one called Hypertechnology. Just got a cease and desist letter from Stephen McCullum, who owns a company. And they told me in the cease and desist letter that Hypertechnologies is not connected with what they call Hypertech Group, which is sort of ironic because quite a few HyperVerse people actually won some prizes that Luna 1 was given away, which is another story, another video, another 4 hours and 47-minute long video that's just been published 4 days ago. It took me 2 months to gather the information. It took me 2 weeks to put together the video. Anyway, what I am saying is this is bullshit, because who's this? I do want to know more about this Hypertech Group, because the way I'm looking at it, there's a group that everyone wants to investigate, if you want a name, and it's Digital X. Now, Digital X seems to be the company behind all this, an Australian-based company. Now, that's the company that you want to investigate. I've never done any investigation on it, but theoretically, that's the company where this all sources from. So have a go, ring up Digital X in Australia, ask them what their involvement is with the Hypertech Group. But at the moment, this sounds like he's got a real company and real people and real offices. I want to know where they are and how do you communicate together? How big is your organization? Give us some key people, show us some company structure on what you're doing. And theoretically, you are the responsibility behind what happened in HyperVerse. Your name is all over the place. If your name was all over the place and it shouldn't have been, and you weren't endorsing this, then you can't just walk away and think that you can just be transparent now and hide behind an NDA. It's just ridiculous.
That is not a reflection of their ethics, and it is what it is, and we just have to deal with that, right? And I am dealing with that. I'm dealing with that on their behalf by being transparent to you guys.
Thanks, Sam. Kapila, you want to try again? Just want to unmute yourself.
This guy shouldn't be on a computer. Let's be real.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you now.
Yeah, I just wanted to find out what is the strategy behind you have in place for HyperNation and HyperVerse for the future, in place of, investment in.
Get this idiot off. What the? You got an idiot who doesn't know how to use a frigging camera, investing in crypto, who's managed to get into a meeting where millions of dollars have gone missing. He doesn't know how to push the stop and start button on a mute button, and now he doesn't know how to hold his cell phone up the right way when on a video call. He's had like 20 minutes of preamble to get his shit together. What is this idiot?
Come to pay the rewards for the members.
Just saying.
As crypto markets is not stable yet.
No shit, Sherlock.
Any sort of suggestions where, it need to be made profit. I understand as a business person, I understand you need to make money to give money away.
Business person.
So what exactly strategy is in place to keep this growing this to...
Is that it?
HyperNation and HyperVerse. Thank you.
What are you going to put? Oh, you thick ass piece of shit.
So again,
question.
I am limited in my involvement in the affiliate marketing side of the Hyper business because we're just a technology provider.
Oh my God.
But
a technology provider who says that his software is stable, never got hacked by HyperVerse. This whole lot is a shambles. Everyone's hiding, running for the hills, and then you get some idiot who asks the dumbest question that's already been answered, and he's just going to say he's not at liberty to answer it. Idiots. Just saying. Go, Sam. Talk. Use your
moving
words.
forward, I want to harness the power of the community, and
boom, boom, boom. That's what he's all after. Go get a room. He wants the community. He wants to steal it for his stable DAO new Ponzi scheme that he can't get going because he doesn't know how to use the community. I know, mate. Get his 5 Wallies or his comrades together and let's go back to where we destroyed HyperVerse and see if we can grab their community, because it was awesome when everyone was receiving their money from HyperVerse originally and all the VIPs were getting millions of dollars. So let's go back and and see if we can get the community. That's the hidden agenda. Hey, I'm going to sign off for a little while. I'll let this play. It's actually got quite a long time to go. I won't be able to timestamp it. I might do, but you won't get my commentary along the way. So let's just carry this going while I duck out for a wee bit.
And you guys as leaders to drive a real business. And a real business means real customers, real revenue, and real profits. You know, and you rightly said we need to make money in order to, you know, share that with people here. So that is why we need to see moving forward the contracts that are in place, the payments that are coming to us, and how much we're sharing with leadership and the community to drive, you know, a long-lasting and stable income. We have seen businesses in the affiliate marketing industry come and go, but the ones that are built on real products and services build up overall trust in the long run. So that is how I wish to explore a solution moving forward. And this is not something that I'm asking people to contribute money towards. I'm asking people to just rebuild their tree, right? So that I can do something with it. I can advocate on your behalf.
Thanks, Sam. Tina, before you speak, there was someone called Gerald who wanted to ask a question. Just to remind you guys, we can only spotlight you through Zoom, so you can ask a question if your videos are on, yeah? So if you do want to ask a question, you'd have to turn your videos on. It's just how Zoom works. Tina?
Hi, Sam. First of all, thank you so
Tina, your internet signal is not great. We can't actually hear you right now.
coming on all these Zooms. I can't. Okay.
Try again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So I wanted to thank you, Sam, for coming on and putting yourself in the line of fire with a huge community that has gone through a lot of difficulties, and many of them are probably not so excited about it. So thank you. I raised my hand and then I think you answered a lot of what I was going to ask already. But so just to clarify, what you're looking to do is recreate the database, like have us re-register in the same way that we registered and recreate the tree. And you would be asking for no fresh funds. Is that correct?
Yeah, and that's right. Because at the end of the day, you know, with such a large database, I can really just go out to large companies and say, hey, can I just, you know, do a collaboration with you, right? As these young influencers would say. So you know, the time that everybody has and the attention that everybody's giving is value. We need to value that, right? And the thing is, the database that we restructured together as the hyper community is only the beginning. Because if I'm able to rebuild trust with you guys, then who knows? Our million-plus community will be tens of millions or hundreds of millions in the future. And I want everybody to be benefiting from the growth of the community. And you know, what better way to grow it than through affiliate marketing?
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Tina. Satpi, do you want to just unmute yourself? Oh, sorry, Pardeep. Apologies. Pardeep, just unmute yourself.
Hi, Sam. Thank you very much for taking your time out to attend these calls. So my question, Sam, is more around the liquidity of the overall structure. What we were always told is that you were kind of very heavily involved in the crypto space, mining, one of the big big miners in the world and so forth. Clearly that market's taken a massive hit. So I was wondering, what is the liquidity for the business? And you mentioned that there's some funds in there that run out at the end of this year, 2023. Is there enough liquidity, whatever the, let's say, starting point, the 1 times is, in your view, what is the liquidity to be able to pay that out? Is it there, do you think? What's your confidence levels in being able to have the liquidity to pay that out?
Firstly, it's not me who defines 1 times, right? We have to be clear on that. You know, if anything I say, and this is, you know, I've taken legal advice before coming on these Zooms, right? And you know, they've gone through all my contracts between Hypertech and all the related entities, and they're like, you know, Sam, you're clear, just don't disclose more than what, you know, needs to be disclosed beyond the NDA. So my objective really is to say that, you know, in a situation where we run into liquidity issues, you know, as long as we're transparent with a group of investors, the investors will always give us more money, right? That's just how businesses work, right? If we fail as entrepreneurs, you know, the cornerstones, as long as they can see how we failed, will always be in a position to either back us or introduce us to more people that will put in fresh funds, but in the form of equity, right? So this whole bringing money from a membership solution is, you know, not something that I'm really familiar with, right? So the objective really is, if we look at mining as an example, especially Bitcoin mining, that has nothing to do with HyperCommunity. We have to be clear on that. This is a very old business model that we have started and built since 2014. We were the first listed Bitcoin miner. Actually, it was the first listed company that was related to blockchain, right? So that listed on the Australian Stock Exchange back in 2014. So that was a significant achievement for us back then. But again, you know, the messaging that I've tried to explain to you know, leadership first is that a lot of the materials in the presentation was misrepresented, because it was representing our past success as part of the HyperCommunity, and we were giving away money out of our past success. Now, you know, firstly, even if we wanted to do that, we're not legally able to do that, because that past success belongs to different partnerships, different you know, investor groups, and you know, what we need to do is create fresh opportunities for the community, you know, in order to share that with the community. So I want to do that transparently moving forward. But right now, in terms of where things sit, you know, we have to understand that liquidity is only a question that corporate can answer, because I've done more than my part to provide plenty of liquidity, right? And somehow, some way, that didn't go to membership, and I don't understand why.
Thanks, Pardeep. If you've got any other questions, Pardeep, just come around the circle, yeah? Satpi, want to submit yourself? Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
The volume is really, really low, by the way. We can barely hear you.
Some my volume.
Up, we can hear you now.
You can hear me, okay. So Sam, appreciate you coming on today, but to be honest, somebody who doesn't know the crypto world or anything, everything you're saying to me, it's gone through one and out the other. So for me, it's about the fact that we had members that joined into HyperVerse as a 20-month membership, hoping that they were going to get something out of it ×3 to start off with. Then it went to ×4. People for me, it was like friends and family, putting a bit of their pension, a bit of their savings to make a little bit of money. And then come April, nothing. We signed on a lot of people. So nobody's seen anything. Now we're in a living crisis at the moment, and these people want some money. They want some of the money that they put in. We've got no real answers. What you're saying today, I can't interpret that and explain it to my members. So how do I tell them in plain English what is going on and what are you really doing? Obviously, you have no data. You can't tell us, but what can you tell us? You've come on, you've shown your face, lovely face, you're smiling, but I can't sleep at nighttime. You can. You made your billions. For me, it's about these people we signed on who are family and friends and parents who thought would help with their pensions, who had small pensions. Now they're going to see nothing, and they put into your HyperVerse. And we did trust you. This is no threats or anything like, you know, to you, but we trusted you like you're trying to trust your, you know, members as well, like people that trust into you and put their money in and their life savings in, and we've seen nothing. So what do I tell my downliners? I mean, I've come on today, I don't understand anything, but what do I tell my downliners? That they're asking me now, when can we play? So okay to say over HVT, which is a small amount, but they've only put in, they're only passive. They weren't team builders. So I need more answers when you're saying by the end of 2023. So we're waiting another 12 months when we've already been waiting 9 months.
Firstly, I really appreciate that question because, you know, hard questions need to be answered, right? I didn't come here to just listen to people thanking me and cheering me on, right? The objective now is to really come towards a solution. So let's put it this way, right? If everybody in leadership, after I've communicated with everyone, decides to, no, Sam, it's too late. We don't trust you. We're not helping you rebuild the tree or the database, you know, then guess what, right? I don't really have a solution for you guys. You know, because you know that's your job as leaders. You know, you could influence everybody to not cooperate, and that's fine, right? But you know, if there is no cooperation, then you know I've done my bit. You know, yes, you've trusted me, you've used me in pitch decks, you've broadcasted my previous interviews that I've given in various media and various forms, but you know, at the end of the day, right? I have been in this industry for so long, and I've never been as disappointed as I am today, right? With something that I have been a part of, right? I'm like looking at things, you know, well, you know, something I created in the past. Now it's a top 10 token. Great, right? Sure, it's lost 95% of the value from the top, but so has everything else, right? But before it lost 95% of value, it went up 1,000 times, right? So you know, no one cares that they've lost 95%, as long as if 1,000 X's, it's still a 50X, right? So I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the fact that people who got in with me made considerable amounts of money, and the reason they've made considerable amounts of money is because we're in an industry that is so close to creating value, and it's a new form of value that regulators are welcoming, you know, more and more every single day. So I don't see there is a problem with scarcity. You know, the community, if aligned, is something that I can utilize to create an enormous amount of value. But that's the thing, right? We need alignment. And that's why I'm having these Zooms. That's why I'm spending this time, right? Because I realized sooner or later, you know, people are starting to, you know, people are going to keep asking questions, right? And if I am in a position to be strong and drive from the front, then everybody's going to get answers. Right? If I am not strong enough, right, and I go along with the narrative that is more and more true every day and just hide, then, you know, that doesn't help anyone. You know, I am here to take pressure off you. If you need to deal with your team, right, deal with it with me. I'm sure we'll be able to set up a time, set up a Zoom, and hear the community, you know, and you know, in all its rawest, purest form, their frustration, right? Because guess what? You know, now you have me to be at the front with you, and that is better than dealing with this and not understanding the technology and not understanding how, you know, money's made in this industry, and being at the front and not giving them answers because you don't have the answers, right? I don't have the answers, but at least now I'm here. I'm here to deal with this with you in front of your community anytime.
Brilliant, Sam. Thank you. Just Alberto, if you don't mind, I'm going to move you at the bottom because you've already asked a question. We're going to keep you in the loop, but I just want to give priority to people that haven't. So that's why I'm going to be moving in a bit. Marianne, go for it, my dear.
Thank you, Sam, for being here. I have more of an input for you as opposed to a question, because it sounds like you also want to fact find on what is working. And the membership that was created in HyperVerse is made up of the leaders that you want, that have built the trees and built the data bank, etc. But I also want you to be aware of there's going to be, my guesstimation, probably 80% of people that just came in, bought a package, wanted to see a return on their investment, and did not want to build a team. So HyperCosmo as a solution fell, in my opinion, flat because they look for people to become strictly builders. They look for fresh funds, which a lot of people are like, I already gave lots, I'm not giving any more. So I like what you say, that you want to use the data bank of the membership to put in front of future investors to build something saying, hey, I got 1 million+ people that would be interested in your product. So I like that. I also want to thank you for still being here, because I've done different investments and companies have just disappeared, and that there's no hope of getting anything back when they disappear. So I think of just input from me as far as I feel that the majority of what the membership wants is a solution, whether it be a new hyper whatever, to no new money, reward us for what we have sitting in HyperVerse so that we can maybe move one for one and start building fresh again from that. So I don't have really a question. I just wanted you to be aware of this, that there is builders, but there's also the passive. There's a lot of passive people that want to move forward to something where they can generate income down the road. So thank you again for putting yourself out there.
Thank you. Joe, let me just unmute you.
Can I please respond?
Oh,
just
sorry, Sam. Apologies.
You know, I really appreciate Marianne's feedback. I understand there's a lot of passive, right? And that's what I want to recreate. I want to recreate a lot of passive with people putting in no money, right? And guess what? The first couple of tokens that we created was airdropped to a community, and somehow it had value and somehow it's, you know, I can't name which ones, but, you know, they're still floating around top 30, top 50. And you know why? It's because of consensus. It's because everybody agreed that it had value. So my objective is nothing happens without a community in this market. The community is the most valuable thing. I recognize that. And what I am wanting to do is make sure that we're front and center, and I'm able to advocate to building out a community that I can get. You know, you have to understand, people have done tokens with me in the past. They'll do more tokens with me in the future. And you know what? They'll do it with business models this time, right? Not just some layer one a solution that, you know, oh, if people use a blockchain, then we get gas fees. You know, none of that. We're talking about real companies using tokenomics to bring rewards to consumers, right? That I think is where the next bull market sits. You know, we need to be at the forefront of receiving those rewards. And if we don't have a large database of people that these these companies can tap into as consumers, then unfortunately my position is very weak, right? And hopefully with a large enough database, we're able to airdrop tokens that will go up 1,000x to a large database, and you guys will then be able to say to your communities, you see, we brought you this, and sure, when you got it, it was worth nothing, but now it's worth something, and every little bit helps.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks for asking that question, Marianne. Joe, do you want to unmute yourself?
Hi.
Hiya.
When you're talking about rebuilding the tree, I'm not sure I strictly understand how you would like us to do that. When you're talking about re-registering in the rough order that we did, in what way do you mean? I mean, sending a link to yourself to re-register and then sending it to your team? I'm not sure I understand how.
Yeah, so you just sign up with a link and then just get your direct sign up and get what
you mean within the HyperVerse platform? Use the HyperVerse platform links?
No. This has nothing to do with HyperVerse.
Right.
I've already explained very clearly, I don't have visibility into that database.
Then what link are you referring to?
That is something that I will construct in the back end.
Right. Perfect. Okay. Sorry,
okay.
I didn't understand.
Because the thing is, it's like I can't just drop a link here right now.
No,
because
of course,
then
I understand that.
Everybody will sign up under me, and that's not helpful because the thing is, right? A company. Let's take, when I was 17 years old, I got invited to an Amway event, right? It was a lot of fun, but that was the only event I went to because, I'm a technical guy. They're saying, oh, if you like the event, bring your friends. I'm like, I have no friends. So I'm in a position where, look, the way I think this will roughly work is, you just bring your directs in and then they bring their directs in and et cetera, because Amway as a business model, the company makes money, leadership makes money, the consumers consume, right? And of course, if the consumers, consume great products, well, they are benefiting themselves anyways. So what I'm saying is, as a business model, that is very, very straightforward. That is what I want to deliver, but with a crypto twist, with a tokenomic twist in the future, right? So the objective really is, I need to now reach out to you guys, right, and rebuild that tree. It's not going to be perfect, but that's all I can do, right? Because at the end of the day, I don't have access to the database. But this is until corporate says to me, Sam, we need to solve this problem and we need to solve it together, right? Unfortunately, until that happens, I'm now having to make you guys do a little bit more work, right? And just reach out to you guys and say, hey, this is how we do it.
That's absolutely fine. It just, Maybe I missed it on earlier in the call, but for me, there just wasn't that thing that said, this is what I'm going to do. When you were talking about rebuilding the tree, it just sounded like you wanted us to re-register on the HyperVerse. But now that you've expressed that, I understand completely to be waiting until you create the thing. So thank you.
Thank you. Tarawal, sorry, apologies if I mispronounced your name. Tarawal?
Teruwai, that's fine. Teruwai, that's what people call me. Actually, my question was the same as the person before, but then because I want to support the community in recovering and also being able to still participate. Do you have a timeline for this project, Sam? For building the database?
That I think can happen quite quickly, right? we do have the technology to do that. But building the database is not the main priority. The main priority, the database is going to be created regardless, whether it's existing members or new members, right? Because I think there's a lot of excitement in people understanding that we can potentially build, a real business that leverages other real businesses that are looking to do, a tokenomic, right? So my objective now is, knowing that there is enough momentum and, everybody thinks it's a great idea to sign up for free, right? And give at least a little bit of time to do that, then I just have to get to work, what I mean by getting to work is really committing to, in this kind of market condition, convincing the companies that are interested in this space and probably have, dabbled with, for example, NFTs, right? To go, hey, instead of selling, useless pictures, right, that have no residual value, how about we do, XYZ? And I want to explore what XYZ is with the community moving forward. It just requires a little bit of time.
Okay. So you just need time to create what you need to do, and then somehow, I suppose that's my question as to how will you inform us about this project moving forward?
Oh, easy. I'll just do another Zoom with you guys.
All right. Okay. All right.
Thank you. Before I unmute you, Emma, just to let MD and Sajjad know, I can only bring you onto the spotlight if your videos are on. Otherwise, Zoom won't allow me to do that, yeah? So you're going to have to put your videos on to be added. Emma, you want to submit yourself?
Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Thanks, Emma.
Oh, hello, everyone. Sam, you said a while ago that you are morally compromised, but you are not legally compromised. And just a little bit before, you said you don't have any friends. So I would like to know what that means to you, to be morally compromised. How important is for someone who doesn't have friends to be morally compromised? Because being legally uncompromised means you are home and dry. So please let me know.
When I said I don't have friends, I mean, I didn't have friends to bring to Amway when I was 17, right? I was, a very shy boy, so I was able to, get out of my shell and be front and center in this industry only because, this industry needed champions. It needed people to explain simple questions, as in, what is Bitcoin? What is Bitcoin mining? And how do I get some, right? So we've made a lot of people a lot of money just getting them into Bitcoin, So
you didn't answer the question. The question was, what means to you to be morally compromised? This is what you said, yeah?
Yeah.
So please answer my question.
Of course. Morally compromised is you guys sold me to a community of people that thought they were investing in my vision. And we all need to take responsibility here. I'm here to take responsibility for my part, and so should you.
I appreciate you are here to take all the shit for everyone involved in this business, yeah? And I appreciate that. It's not a easy thing to do, to be in front of a community and take all the shit, yeah? But you are legally uncompromised, so you are safe. You are safe. Legally, you are safe.
I've always been safe, okay? Let's be clear. I've always been safe. You have to understand, right? If I'm not safe, I would not be able to be in a position to stand here in front of the community and help and put together a solution, right? If I'm not safe, I wouldn't be able to be in a position to help you. So
yes.
Let's be clear, right? I am safe.
Yeah.
Everyone in the community is now safer because I'm here, right?
It sounds like it's getting good. Sorry, I was away. I had to go drop the dog at a daycare center. So I did leave a video playing of the HyperCommunity presentation version 2.0, so you could have a look, but I see another video come up, so sorry about that. But it does sound like this is a brilliant video, and they're really getting stuck into Sam and asking all those questions everyone wants. So this is a great example of why not to get involved in a Ponzi scheme. So let's carry on listening to Sam.
Well, everybody here is safe anyways, but my point is, right, you now have the ability to direct the community's anguish and disappointment towards me, right? Because I'm here now.
Yes, you are here now. We are safe, but we lost money. I don't know about you, but we lost money, and you are safe. And I was asking you, what means to you to be morally compromised? Because this is what you said.
Well, and Sorry, go ahead.
Emma, what I'm going to do is I'm going to...
No, unmute her. Unmute her, please. Okay, let's finish. I want to hear what she has to say, please. Thank you.
Emma?
Yes, I want to hear your answer. It's an emotional thing. We talk here a lot of technical things, and technical things without not a real answer. Yes, I want to hear from you, from a human being to another human being, what means to you to be morally compromised. Your words. Please, Sam, answer. Or answer yourself.
I'll answer, right? It's very simple. Those are my words, right? And if I did not make money for people in a bull market, I make them money in the next bull market. And that's how I have a fucking balance sheet in my mind that I need to look after the people who believe in me, right? But that requires us to have a legal contract directly, and not just some, membership platform that I have very little visibility on, right? It is unfortunate that I did not take control.
Yeah, but if you've got a legal company called Hypertech Group, and that's your company, Sam, then tell us more about that company. That question was asked back way back at the start there, we're talking about Hypertech in 43 minutes. There was a question asked. Well, it won't be 43 minutes. It'll probably be more 45 time I do the editing. But yeah, this is great stuff, Sam. Keep it up. I think if we give you enough rope, you'll hang yourself, right?
Control of a situation when it got out of control. But, you know, I trusted people that are very close to me.
Blame game.
And you know, when you've made money with them in the last 3 bull markets, you expect them to deliver and to perform with you, right? Together. And that is the biggest disappointment, that, you know, people put their hands up, right? And when they can't deal with enough shit, when they cannot deal with the shit anymore, they just put their hands up, right? And now the thing is, right, there are plenty of people in this community that obviously are not in the position to deal with shit, right? I believe I'm in a position because, you know, I still have so much to give to this world, right? I'm not old enough to put my hands up, right? I'm not fragile enough to put my hands up, and I am strong emotionally and mentally. So, you know what? Morally compromised means that if I've made a mistake and I lost people money, right, and they have a contract with me, I make it back. I make them whole in the next market, in the next bull market, right? But it requires a plan. It requires, you know, a fully transparent plan that we all agree to, right? And that did not happen, right? Because firstly, I trusted people, right? And I still believe, hope that they will deliver on my trust.
Bullshit.
But I am morally compromised because I feel like I don't have the ability to do anything right now because I don't even know what 1x is, and what they promised, and what the data, you know, what the database structure is like.
Bullshit.
So this is my first step. I need to create a database to advocate for everyone.
It's trying to steal the community.
And hopefully that first step will lead to a second step, as long as we're all able to come together with some great ideas.
Rubbish. Idiot.
Thank you, Sam. Emma, thank you for asking such an important question again. Okay. Sorry, I'm not sure what your name is. It just says iPhone. You want to unmute yourself?
Hi, Nadeem.
Hi, Nadeem.
Hi, Sam. Thanks for being on the call. Just a quick question here. So you say you're going to create a database, which you can create fairly quick. Once the database is completed, so the next step, you say you're going to calibrate with the 100 of your company, or it's going to be outside company, and how long does that going to take?
I'm not going to set any timelines, because timelines seems to be, you know, a huge disappointment in this community, right? So look, I'll create the software. It already exists, right? That everybody can just sign up and, you know, be a part of. And the objective next is really to understand what opportunities people are looking for. And for me to then go with my team to find those opportunities with legitimate companies, you know, that are looking to explore.
Boom, boom, boom. It's so obvious, man. So Sam reckons he's provided the infrastructure for HyperVerse. He says that his software is secure. There's no such thing as a hack. And now he's saying he's got software ready to go for people to sign up. Oh my goodness. Wonder that's the words that are gonna come out of his mouth soon is stable.limited is his new Ponzi scheme, and he hasn't had any success with his 5 Cloonies that are trying to build it. And now he's telling you that he wants the HyperCommunity to come over and trust, and he's going to go into battle with an organization that's kept him in the dark, that doesn't let him know how the books are. He has no idea if there has been a hack. He has no idea if there is any money. He has no idea about nothing, and then he tells you he meets with corporate once a month. And I haven't been watching the last half hour because I've been dropping the dog at daycare. And this is what I've come back to so far. Did I miss anything? Hello, what's happened to Sam? He's got small. There he is. Right, let's try that again.
Or tokenomics, and of course, distribution of value through the blockchain ecosystem, right? Because the biggest problem is consumers are not rewarded when they consume and increase the value of the company, right? That is the biggest problem, and it's not able to be solved before blockchain exists, because how do you reward your consumers, right? Through these little cards where they put a stamp, you know, get 5 coffees and the 6th one free, right? You know, everything on a blockchain just moves a lot faster, you know. So it's all about creating a holistic and rewarding ecosystem, and you know, that starts with this community here, which was built by you guys. You know, sure, I was involved, but you know, I think considering that I was involved in a way that was very, very, very passive, right? And now I'm ready to be in a position to be on the other side of passive, right? Then I think there's magic down the road that we could all create together.
Rubbish.
Thanks, Sam. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move things along a bit faster because, Sam, I really appreciate it. It's actually 2 a.m. for 2 a.m. in the morning for Sam at the moment. So, Gerald, do you want to unmute yourself?
So that's interesting. So he says 2 a.m. for Sam Lee at the moment. Now, I don't follow Hyper Community leadership meetings because they play at 3 a.m. in the morning, and I have better things to do with my life than stay up to 3 to 5 a.m. in the morning to watch leadership. So I get all the recordings given to me. So I'm trying to think. That does tell me that Sam seems to be in Australia at the moment. So if you know where he is, I'd be interested to know. And so would some authorities that are trying to catch up with Sam after defrauding Australians $50 million with Blockchain Global.
Hi, Sam. I guess you all hearing me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, Sam. Thanks really for coming to talk to the community. There are lots of questions asked, the things I want to ask, which have already been touched by others, especially regarding timelines. I know they've touched on the timeline regarding the database creation. But I want to look at timeline. My question, I want to probably tilt away from that and just ask about timelines now regarding ourselves in the community who've made contributions. Because I think the key thing why we itchy to actually come in today is obviously to understand how and when we'll be able to actually get back the rewards or even the 1x's that we actually invested in.
I mean, God, Gerald, have you not been listening to the last hour and a half of questions? Everyone would love to know the answer to that. A timeline when you're going to get your money back. I mean, what is that crap? And why is that on the screen? What happened to my screen? It's gone. All right, I've got an order coming up instead. Oh, here we go. I'm working in the background because I do have a business to run. So that must have happened before. Interesting. Right, so let's go make that better. I do drop shipping. That was AliExpress, would you believe? All right, let's try that again. So anyway, Gerald, don't ask stupid questions that have already been answered 5 times. Let's see how Sam answers that again.
Into HyperVerse, Hyperphone, or Cosmos. I mean, I've not progressed to Cosmos anyway. But I understand you've equally probably kind of distanced yourself from knowledge of what the corporate is doing. And as community, we are community members. If there are problems between yourself and corporate, how do you think, because you said we can be part of that solution, what do you need from us? What do you want us to do to actually help us to help you?
What's the database knowledge?
I think that is my question. what do you
think it's
want
a
us to
question?
do? We're listening to you today. There's obviously a journey. We'll be interested to know how soon we can get ourselves back to that position where we're revving to go to give you that button.
Okay, so what he's trying to say,
confident one to
what can we do to
propel
speed up my
you
money?
to take the company to the next level. But if we don't come back to the level but where we're comfortable to do that, it becomes difficult.
Oh my God.
But if there is a journey and you want us to be part of that journey, what is our part?
Next time, get your people to write down the question and they have to read their question rather than trying to ask a question that doesn't say anything. If the guy takes a minute and a half to answer a question and I have to stop in between to keep everyone interested, then what's the point of this idiot asking the same question? Right, ask your stupid question.
How can we help?
Sorry, Gerald, I'm just going to mute. I'm just conscious of time. Do you mind just asking just the question that? Appreciate that. Apologies. I'll unmute you again, buddy.
Yeah, shut up and say something.
Yeah, the question is, how can we help you to help us to get back to our normal positions?
Thank you, Gerald. I think I touched on this throughout this call, but
yeah, he did. If you go back to around about an hour 17, the question was asked, how can I help you help us?
Just to be clear, right? First is I need leverage to help pressure corporate to deliver on their promise, right? And it's them who promised you guys 1x, right? And my job is to help apply that pressure. I could see that already happening, considering that, after 9 months of silence, that article came out. So it is, I think, a scramble for the benefit.
Actually, that's really interesting what he just said. 9 months of silence. I didn't realize that, but I'm still seeing lots of announcements and activity in the Discord and Telegram groups. I don't know what he means by that, but yeah, it is ironic that after 9 months of silence, when Sam sticks his head back on up, that they send out an official letter telling us that it's only been on the 1st of January that we've got control back of the money, and they're now going to pay back people's one-time reward, which is a load of rot because the money's not there. There's no money. So it is quite funny. I'd love to see, that's why I'm putting these videos out. I want people to see something. You need to prod these people in the ribs, and you need to expose them, and you need to name and shame people who are behind this organization, like Sam Lee. I mean, where is this guy living? What's his home address? He said you can find his number, you can send him a message on WhatsApp. So why are the authorities finding it so hard to track down this guy? That's what I'd be asking.
Benefit of the community that they feel that they have to do something now that I'm here with you guys, right? I'm on your side now, so they have to do something, right? So that's one. The other one...
Theoretically, he was always on your side. If you watch the PowerPoint presentation I played while I was dropping the dog at daycare, you can see that he's plastered all over the PowerPoint presentation promoting this. Same with Ryan Zhu. Now, as I've said before, who needs friends like Sam? Who needs enemies when you have friends like Sam Lee? That's the honest truth of it, isn't it?
Is if I'm able to recreate roughly the hyper community inside a database that I control, I'm able to advocate for the community in a much stronger way. So that is not a process that requires you guys to give me money, right? I don't want to do what has previously happened, which is, hey, pay more money and be a part of this new thing. No. So once I have a database, I'm sure we're all smart enough to figure out how to utilize this database. Yeah. And then finally, the third thing is, I know I've created a track record of success, but that is because I had great mentors. I want everybody here to know that you guys have more experience leading a community than I have ever had. And my capacity is more on technology and regulation of that technology. That's it. right? And for some reason or another, that has led to some amazing transactions that made a lot of our investors money through Hyperfund, right? And through other funds that, I've been a general partner of. So, my objective really is we could crowdsource the solution. I don't know what the solution is right now, but there is the ability to crowdsource that solution through the community
He doesn't
once
know what he's
we have the
doing.
database.
What an idiot.
Thanks, Sam. Shiv, before I meet you, I'm just conscious of time. It's 2:00 in the morning for Sam. Sam,
Who
are you okay to
cares?
carry on?
He's not complaining.
Of course.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you so much for making yourself available. Okay, Shiv, do you want to submit yourself?
And if anyone wants to take a break, please do so as well, because I know I'm here to answer questions, but if you guys need to take a break, please do.
Sam, let's
move on quickly.
You might want to have a glass of water or something. Sam, you got something that you want, that people can just switch their videos and have a break. Do you need a minute break? You okay?
I'm okay.
Poor Sam.
Please.
Sorry, Shiv. Sorry to interrupt you, Shiv. Go for it.
Thank you very much, Sam, for coming on today. Now, I want to summarize what you've said. Two-pronged attack, okay? First of all, you need the community behind you to be able to have a voice, to go to corporate, to be able to extract whatever you can from them for us. And secondly, you want to take that community to the various industries to make sure that we have opportunities outside HyperVerse. Is that true?
That is correct.
So what sort of percentage of the community do you think you need on your side to be able to put those actions in place?
1%, because
Really?
we could always grow a community
So
from scratch.
effectively, if you get the backing from, say, 50% of the community, you will be very strong and be able to speak with one voice for us.
Oh,
Yes,
don't do it, you idiots.
because I understand that this is a process of building trust again, and I didn't build trust with Horrenda overnight. It was through many nights, many Zooms, explaining how I've created track record in this industry and delivered outcomes for my investors, right? So I'm willing to go through that same process with you as well, right? Because it takes time, right? I only need a fraction of the community to believe in me so that I could, through this small fraction, rebuild trust. Because like it or not, a lot of things have been said about me, and
no, they haven't, Sam.
I don't agree with all of it.
Thank goodness.
But it's okay, right? But the thing is, right now, I only need a fraction of you guys to say yes. I'll dedicate a little bit of time to getting myself on the platform, my directs on the platform, and move things forward. Because at the end of the day, any company just needs a database.
I get that. But listen, you tell me something. What advantage do we have for you to be the voice of the community as opposed to someone like Keith Williams?
Good question.
I know the second part of the business, which you're saying, which you can develop another business with other corporate big industries. Yes, that perhaps Keith Williams hasn't got the skill. But to be able to negotiate directly with HyperVerse, would you say that someone like Keith Williams has got as strong a voice as you have?
Well, probably even stronger. Because at the end of the day, I'm a terrible negotiator. I come from a technical background.
Oh, contradiction.
I build businesses in a very logical way, right? And to be honest, if I'm in a strong position, right, then this meeting wouldn't be happening.
I have total faith and trust in you as far as building businesses is concerned, but I don't have a great deal of faith in you being able to negotiate with the corporate team at HyperVerse.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and I'm not here to mislead you on that point, right? My job is to be open, upfront, and transparent with the community so that the community can make up their own mind.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Shiv. Avtar, can you submit yourself?
Hi, Sam. Thank you for being here today with us. To be honest with you, I could give you another 30 questions, but I know time is limited, so I just wanted to say a couple of things.
Thank you.
First of all, we know now 100% the agenda. You're here for the community, not for the community, but you want the community.
Yes.
Let's get that right. You're not here for the community, you want the community back.
Brilliant.
Because as you shared, with the community, you can go forward to other businesses and things like that.
Rescam everyone.
Which
Makes
doesn't
you
sit
sick.
well with many of us.
That's right.
Of course.
Right.
Yep.
So there's the agenda that because let's be honest.
It's talk about the elephant in the room.
You as a captain have been watching this ship sinking.
Yep. Good
People
man.
have been hurting in a real big bad way.
Good man.
And you've done nothing but sat back and looking at it and looking at it, looking at it. And now guess what?
Yep.
As you said, I'm back. Yes, of course you're back.
What a joke.
But there's an agenda behind you. You've come back because you want the community back.
Yep.
Now you said you're going to do something else. We've had MOF, we've had Cosmos, we've had all these coins. They've all failed. Something new you're going to start. It's again going to be what? It's going to be a new coin.
No, it's already started.
What guarantee we got in there?
Stable
Now
Deo.
going back to you people, as you said, you and Ryan, you were the whales, were the people that made Bitcoin in 2009. So you don't know about how the business works. You don't know there's a bear market, that you don't know there's a bull run. This is something new to you people. This is not new. You've
Good
done this
question,
many
mate.
times.
I like
So
this
this
guy.
wasn't going to be new for you people that you experiencing what it is. And now what you're going to do, and now you're saying the tree, you don't have to build it all up again. Let's go back to the tree that we all got businesses in HyperVerse or HyperFund, whatever we had. So many people have so much money. Does that all disappear? But that's not the issue here. The money disappears not. The biggest agenda is you've come back, in my opinion, not to save the community, to use the community.
That's right. Yep. What do you got to say about that, Mr. Sam?
Okay.
Carry on.
Thank you for your statement.
Thank you for
All right.
spotting the elephant in the room.
If I'm
Just before Sam gets trying to justify his actions, Sam has been in hiding, and he's come out on the left-hand side of my screen. Where's me gone? Oh, hold it. Turn me back on. Where am I? Am I there? I'm not there. Why aren't I there? And how come there's that picture there? Hold it. 1 minute, please. Call it. Double screen Sony. Boom. There I am. Oh, forgot to turn on my background light. Boom. See? Anyway, so just here, this is Sam's new baby. So when I found out Sam was back and he was promoting Stable Deo, I went through the Stable Deo website and I found their offices were in London. And then after I published this video, the next day they updated to Tokyo. And both those offices were Regis, which is shared office space, which is ridiculous. So this new office of Sam's that he's got is basically, and all the founders, everyone that's part of it, there's 5 Clooneys. They have LinkedIn profiles. I've gone through all their LinkedIn profiles. These guys don't seem to be anyone amazing, except maybe someone with big money that have managed to fool him into starting up something and coming out of hiding. And then the other one was basically when I first saw he'd come back, I did this video claiming that he's back and this boardroom thing, and it's just disgusting. Now, if you were to go to Stable Deo, and so why Sam wants the community? Because if you go to Stable Deo, you can see this guy that knows how to build companies and everything. If you look at his videos, Let's just go. He's got 4,000 subscribers. So put that in perspective. I have nearly 3,500+ subscribers. His videos are getting 169 views, 168, 109, 216, 474, 400, 311. And this one here miraculously got 954. We've got 2 weeks ago, this is 650, 3 weeks ago, 566. So all these videos he's done on promoting his new baby isn't actually working. And he's out there in hiding because no one knows where he is, because he's defrauded Australia for $50 million and the liquidators are looking for him. Here he is on the screen over there. There, it's quite tricky that, around the other way. Telling you guys he wants your data, your support, so that he can introduce you to new ideas. Now, the guy that was just on there before, Avtar, brilliant question. So I just wanted to sort of point that back as Sam keeps wurzling his way. We've got another hour of Sam, so he's going to be 3 o'clock in the morning before he finishes. Here we go.
Here to use the community, and the community has no use for me, then this Zoom wouldn't happen. This meeting wouldn't happen. You know, if I have zero use for you guys, if my access and track record in this industry means nothing to you, then, you know, why am I here? So you know, look, I've come here.
People are here, Sam, because they're in the dark, and any little bit of light does lead people to that, and they're looking for direction. They've been promised from an organization that you were running, allegedly, which you definitely were, and you're still going to chairman meetings every month, going by what you just said a few minutes ago. People are looking for their money. Wouldn't you be still looking for your money? Have you not ever lost a pair of sunglasses in your house and you spend all day looking for them? Well, people have lost thousands of dollars. Spoke to one guy who lost $5 million for his family, 117 accounts he created on HyperVerse. And now he's trying to find Ryan Zhu so that he can get his lawyer onto him for losing all his money. These people are angry. They've invested money, they've made money, the VIPs have, and now you're coming along saying you're not liable and it's not your fault. You need to be strung up by the balls, young man.
Because I feel that there is value that I can bring. And you know, it's not easy to do what I'm doing right now. But
good.
I'm doing it because I feel that at least you guys need to have a choice to make, right? Whether to keep waiting or to just sign up so that you could wait, not just for corporate, but for me to at least figure something out. That's all, right? So thank you for your statement. You know, if you know, I'm here to use the community and the community has no use for me, then they just don't sign up. That's fine.
Sign up.
You know what it is, Sam? You are using corporate to hide behind them.
Exactly.
You and
Expose
Ryan,
them.
We had a lot of trust in yourself and Ryan. It was all about yourself and Ryan, of what you had done, both of you, how it was built. The due diligence and all the Amazon videos and everything was about Ryan, you and yourself. Yeah, we believed in everything that was said to us. Now you are hiding behind corporate. Let's be honest. There was no such thing as corporate. You might put them in place.
This guy's good.
Ryan, you might put them in place, but you are 100% responsible for what is happening. You and Ryan, nobody else. You're trying to hide behind people's back. That's what you're doing here.
Yep. True. Well said. Where's Sam still alive?
It's very easy for you to say the things you're saying right now.
Yes, and there's a reason for that.
It's very easy for you also to say, we'll move on. Yeah. How many times have we changed companies? How many times have we changed? Hyper fun, hyper this, hyper that. And guess what? We've always stuck with you. You keep on changing the goalpost. How many times? There's people hurting here, Sam. People have lost livelihoods. People have borrowed money. That's not your problem. That wasn't what you've done. You never put a gun to their head. But people are suffering in a big way.
Yep.
We've got a moment now, after over a year, to have a moment with yourself. People are suffering in a real big way, Sam. They trusted yourself and Ryan, and they came in. And now
I trusted the community.
And the real cool thing about this is that Sam Lee's admitted when I watched his last video that he hasn't lost any money. Oh, sorry about that. That's AliExpress doing its thing. Sam Lee's admitted that he's doing really well financially, and he's also saying that the Hyper Tech group that he runs has got about 100 different projects going, and he's also saying that if you give your details over to him, he can introduce you to the top 500 companies. I mean, this guy's totally full of shit. So that's why I'm really enjoying this guy that's currently questioning him.
Community to reach out to me, and guess what the community did, right?
It's taken a year for you to come to our platform?
That's right.
Oh, yeah, look, at the end of the day,
you're a scammer.
We got to find a solution for these people.
What a load of rubbish.
And you saying the things you're saying right now, right, is not helping me find a solution. And if you feel I don't have a solution and I'm here to use the community,
that's right.
Then guess what? I just don't sign up, right?
Sign up for what?
I'm not here to put a gun to your head,
oh my
right?
God. Talking
I'm
guns?
here to learn from you, who is an expert in affiliate marketing
You're not an expert.
and has grown a significant community. That's why you're sitting here, right? Because you have to look after people. You have to look after their livelihoods, right? And if I'm not here for you, right? If I'm not here for you, right? Then I don't know why I'm here, right? If you feel that I don't have any value to add to you anymore, then you know what? There's plenty of opportunities out there. There's plenty of businesses out there, right? And there's plenty of other things you could do, right? You got your closure by being on this Zoom. Thank you very much.
Sam, I appreciate what you just said there, but today, right, as we speak, a lot of us didn't understand blockchain. A lot of us didn't understand cryptocurrency. But in today's, what we've understood, and now today as we're speaking, 2023, I think the ordinary person sitting on this platform could make money out of cryptocurrency now. We're in a very bear market. It's going to be a bull market coming up. I think anybody will make money in that. So if you're saying to us, join me now in the bear market, of course, next year you're going to make money. I think anybody could do that. So if that's what you're thinking, it's ridiculous. I really can't believe that that's what it's coming down to.
Oh, I like this guy.
All the promises that you have received from corporate is an extension of our track record.
There's no such thing as corporate, Noddy. There's no such thing as corporate. I mean, I did an introduction before I watched this, and I just can't believe that he's even going to actually come out with this. What I do long form content, and people don't get to watch all my videos. How am I going to get this part of the segment at the start? I really obviously have to find it. If you've enjoying this, please do hit the like and subscribe button. But yeah, I just actually can't believe the questions of this Avtar guy is brilliant, and Sam is squirming and squealing like a little bitch. Carry on, Sam.
Representation of what I've been involved in. So let's be clear. I am now answerable to you because I'm in front of you for the first time.
Excellent. Well, all your 100 companies that you're theoretically building software for, why don't you have a show of faith in the money that you have made? Why don't you put that in the kitty and start distributing it back to people that have lost money in HyperVerse if you're genuine?
Absolutely. You've been watching the ship sinking so badly. You've been watching people, the community, which is your community, right? Yeah. Some of us here on this leaders call, right? Yeah, have got a lot of feelings for each other. We've built a trust. We've built a bond between us. And the only one thing, if I had to take something out of this, right, out of HyperVerse, I found, is we've made some relationships out of this. So I would thank you for that, because I wouldn't have met most of the people here. I've made some great friends out of here. So that's the one bloody thing I would like to thank you and Ryan for, that you've got us onto a platform and I've made some great friends. Apart from that, no, you've been sitting from afar watching us suffering, and now you want to step back in. Step back in, yes, fine. But don't just say you're going to do ABC and now you're going to talk to corporate and then you need 1% of the community or 2% of the community. That's not going to sit well with any of us. Yeah, corporate is you. You are corporate as far as I'm concerned. There's no corporate. You own the company. So who's corporate? Somebody you put in there. Simple.
Guys, I'm gonna move on because after you've made your point loud and clear, and we got it. Yeah, I just want to be fair to.
Hey, Harinda, can I say something? If
Yeah,
you don't
go
mind?
for it.
Sorry. I think Sam as a corporate or was a CEO of the company before can't say much. Okay, I'm sorry, I can't come on the video at the moment. I spent enough time with Sam. Now.
Okay, so Gobi, thank you for giving me the spelling of your name. I was trying to look for that. Now I watched the first video. If you go 2 or 3 videos back, this guy actually talked to Jackie and Tammy and brought Sam on to the HyperCommunity. And he's basically in bed with Sam. So anything he's about to say, in my opinion, is biased, and he will be financially rewarded some way from Sam Lee for being his spokesman. So this is like Sam's Lee manager coming out here to back up Sam. So this is what you call gang mentality. So I'm gonna not be surprised. Anything that comes out of this guy's mouth will be in Sam's favor, and I believe he's getting paid by Sam. So let's have a listen and see what Gobi is all about. Gobi?
Avtar, what he's saying is right, but if he's if you put Sam's shoes, you will understand the situation.
You don't wear Sam's shoes.
Anywhere. That's what I thought. Sam, the corporate didn't let him come out. They said, we are doing next month. We are doing next month. We are giving the payment next month. And they promised you guys, it's coming next month. Hyperbond, Hypercosmos, they promised it. It wasn't Sam's. Sam can't say something as a CEO because it will create controversies. So it's easy to say what you're saying, Avtar, but Sam is not come out after
bullshit.
What happened. Now, let me tell you one more thing, guys. So hopefully you all will understand this. All our leaders, they wrecked the ship and they moved on with different businesses. They didn't think about you. They didn't think about me. Sam didn't do that way. Sam was waiting for the solution, and if the corporate was promising him, right? Sam was giving enough money to those people. Sam clearly said that he had 2 companies. One is fund management, another one technology management. The fund management, legally, he released enough funds to pay us. The corporate didn't do that. Sam can't say this, but I'm telling you this, guys, this is a fact. There's a reason why Sam can't. Sometimes he's struggling to answer you guys because he has to be very careful with the words. So don't just, it's easy to tell him, oh, you did that. Most of the people moved on with different businesses, didn't even think about the community. At least Sam is here and promising, I'm here to look after you guys. Just go with the plan. Simple as that. I don't think this is what I know.
He's on the payroll.
Most of you guys don't know what Sam all about or what he went through. But I know that's the reason I'm telling these answers. Here we go. That's it. Right, Harinda? Thanks, buddy.
Sam, thank you so much for saying that. I'm gonna, Avtar, if this space, not space, so this time at the end, you can come back. But it's not fair on Kay and Prabh and Sajjad and the other guys waiting. Yeah. But thank you, Avtar, because you got every right to share what you shared. And that's how you feel, and we respect that. And Gobi, thanks for intervening there. Kay, you want to meet yourself?
I am unmuted. Hi, Sam. First of all, you want to thank you for coming on the call tonight. It's a difficult call. It's the first call, and there are a lot of emotions. And I am glad that people like Sabti and Emma and Avtar have expressed how upset, scared, and angry people are. Because they really are, because people have lost a lot of money. But my kind of, I haven't really got a question. I've got more of a request, actually. And that is, I feel like we're all between a bit of a rock and a hard place, including you. I don't know if you realize this, but we're not network marketers. We're just normal people. So I'm a doctor, there's other doctors, there's pharmacists, there's tennis coaches, there's business people. So the vast majority of us on this call are not professional network marketers. We kind of came into this through a friend. We got our friends and family involved, we got their friends and family involved, etc. So, and when we were, explaining about HyperVerse to people or HyperFund as it was then, the response we tended to get from people was, no, I'm not getting involved in that crypto. People lose money in that crypto. No. It's Ponzi, just a scam. It's this, it's that.
Ponzi.
And unfortunately, we seem to have proven them right so far, because the vast majority of people have not been able to get their money out, at least their 1x out.
Surprise,
Okay,
surprise.
so I told a few of my members today that we were coming on this call tonight, and we're all optimistic and we're all really pleased to have this call. But the overwhelming kind of feeling is, you know, if we can get the 1x out, if we can restore trust, then we'd be willing
luck
to
with
follow
that.
you, you know, and go on to other projects, etc. So my plea is, and my request is, to please keep working with corporate, because
There is no corporate.
in my team, for example, I'd say only 20 to 30% of people would come with me onto something new if they couldn't get the 1x out from HyperVerse. So I just encourage you to keep working with corporate. And I think it's quite a surprise to all of us that you are quite disjointed from corporate, because we thought you were part of corporate. Yeah, so that's just my request, really. And I was just making you aware that we're not network marketers, and that, you know, we've got to try to get that 1x out to move forward onto new projects, so that then we can all, you know, become profitable.
Yeah.
The reason why I am sticking by the NDAs that I've signed is because, you know, at the end of the day,
this is not legal.
I'm not here to break contract with corporate. You know, we
Who is corporate?
I mentioned that I trust and I still hope there to be a positive outcome from corporate.
What a load of
So,
rubbish.
you know, they know how easily I'm accessible to them, and just like how easily I'm going to be accessible to everyone after this call. And of course, if there is follow-on questions, because I understand everybody's just asking one question, and the question might lead to more questions, and you want more time to sit and go through, you know, more questions. I'm willing to do that, right? I'm willing to do that in front of you, one-on-one, in front of the community that you guys lead, right? As long as you guys are willing to give me the time. That's
only reason Sam's come out of hiding is because the authorities haven't actually arrested him. So he's starting to get sick of this. So then they must know that these guys stick themselves out in the public arena again, and that's when they'll get nabbed. He must have thought he's got away with the thievery.
That's all.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks, Kay. Prabh, do you want to just unmute yourself?
Yep. Hi, Sam. Again, thanks for being here, for everyone. Thanks for all your questions and all the answers. My question might be a bit of a silly one, but it's more just to try and build that trust back up. You mentioned that we sold you on the presentations and your previous enterprises, possibly not 100% accurately. You know, back when we were building a community, when we were making then HyperFund and then HyperVerse. The reason why HyperFund or then HyperVerse was created was sort of changed as the presentations evolved. There were mentions about floating on the stock exchange and things like this. So I guess what I really want to know is sort of more of an official answer, if you can give, as to why the reasons HyperFund and then HyperVerse was created, and why we're all here, and why we actually sold this to all of our downlines. So we can go with a concrete answer as to, you know, why we're here, what it was sold as, and what, you know, then we can look forward to what we're going to be doing next.
Really?
So when Hyper as an affiliate model was created, we believed that there were a lot of people that are coming into this industry blind, without the knowledge and education and the connections to do well from this very lightly regulated industry. So the original structure was, why don't we manage people's money, but not through you know, a traditional fund? Because if it's through a traditional fund, then we don't want to really be talking to people who have less than $100,000 to give, right? Because the cost of, you know, onboarding people is just too high. So how do we get mass market participation and a community to create consensus? So I still truly believe that, you know, moving forward in the next market condition, the next bull market condition, consensus is more efficiently created through a network marketing or affiliate marketing model. And I want to be in a position to put this community at the forefront of the next bull market. You have to understand, like, every single token was introduced by the first issuing the token and then sharing it amongst some friends, and then the friends continue to keep sharing until we all reach a consensus that it has value. That's how Bitcoin came to be, right? It was through a post on a forum by Satoshi, right? Of this is my 9-page white paper, and let's do it. Let's go for it, right? So that model no longer works because greedy people will always be the first in and the first out, right? The model moving forward has to have an affiliate model to have any kind of scale. So given that this is a community of over 1 million people, given that there are 8 billion people in the world, and there's an opportunity to grow the community in the right way moving forward, right, with full transparency, I believe that as long as I can get a fraction of you guys to come with me on that journey, this will be a great outcome.
He's stealing the community that have been stolen from. There's no doubt about it.
Right. And the frustration, again, and I just want to reference what Gobi said, is that I have consistently been led to believe, and I still believe, in corporate's ability to deliver. But, given that enough time has passed, I need to make my own position known. And that's what I'm doing right now to the community, to really give access to the community to my network, all right, and my access, so that we're able to really compartmentalize the opportunity in a correct way moving forward. Because there was disjointed structures where the funds and the membership structure were in two separate entities. And that led to all of this, right? Now, moving forward, what you're doing is you're dealing with me directly. I will have full contracts in place to deal with you guys directly, because that's how I always dealt, right? So again, I understand not everybody's willing to move forward, and that's fine. But my objective is really to be in this forum, to answer your questions, so that you guys could make yourself a decision, right? And if one question and one answer is not enough, then I invite everybody to talk to me directly, and that could, be organized over the next couple of weeks.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks, Prabh. Guys, I'm just going to remind everybody that some questions might be duplicate, and if your questions have already been asked, then this call is being recorded.
This is stupid. I love it when they say this. If your questions have already been asked, please do not answer the question. But I've been in the queue for an hour and a half wanting to ask Sam Lee a question. And regardless if my question has been answered, I don't want to get off the opportunity to talk to Sam and ask him questions. So I'll just ignore whatever this guy's just saying, and I'll ask my question anyway, but I'll just say it around another way. So you watch what happens when the next person comes on. It'll be a question we've already asked. How long will it take for you to work all this out and for I to get my money back?
So I'm going to, rather than have Sam repeat what he's already said, I might say to you, look, just listen to the recording. So Sajjad, do you want to unmute yourself?
You watch.
Thank you.
Hi, Sam. Thank you, firstly, for coming on and really taking on everyone's questions. I know it's very uncomfortable, but there's about 150 people on this call, and they've all supported thousands of other people that they've brought on board. My question to you is, I mean, we've got 1 million people in this community, and it was thriving. You know, corporate has taken something like 4 billion in funds and what they've done with those funds. And I get that there's a lot of people here that just want 1x back, just to have that. I think Kay mentioned it earlier on. How do we get that 1x back to them to get some leverage? I mean, there's 150 people that were on this call that still have some kind of belief, maybe not 100%, but they still have some belief that, you know what, we're going to get it. You know, the market is really tough. How would you kind of, I know that you are here and it's difficult for you. It's 2 o'clock in the morning where you are right now.
Oh, forget about that. We're past that, aren't we?
Dubai.
You can stay up all
Are you
night.
in Dubai? Sorry. Oh, I'll have to come and visit you.
Oh, he's in Dubai.
Quite a lot.
Of course he is.
But from your perspective,
good to know.
What can we do? Because we want some answers. We want to get at least 1x back.
We've had this question.
Maybe the question's been answered before.
Yes, it has.
But I'll ask,
Did you not
it
listen?
again.
Sajjad, sorry, the question has been answered twice before.
Okay.
No, I'll
Sam,
just
you add?
answer again
Exactly
because
my
it's good
point.
practice, right? I need to keep my answers consistent, right?
course.
Look, I want to be helping everybody get some answers, right? And if you know, I got resistance from some of the community members saying, you know, just let corporate sort it out. You know, don't deal with this matter because they know what they're doing, right? But that was then, right? And this is now, right? I've let enough time pass by, and the objective really is okay. How do we drive a solution with corporate, right? And I'm willing to work with corporate. It's just I'm not getting the transparency I need to deal with it. And of course, I understand
there is no corporate.
There will be a portion of the community that will say I'm hiding behind corporate. I
Yes.
understand fully that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
But you know, at my stage right now, it's like I don't care if people are thinking that I'm hiding behind corporate, because you know, that is not the truth, firstly, and secondly, my objective is to deliver transparency, and you know, of course, I'm not giving all the answers everybody needs, but at least it's a start, right? And you know, I'm willing to work with you guys. I'm willing to work with corporate, but the objective is to just make my position known so that you guys have a starting point to your decision-making process for 2023.
You're trying to steal the community. It's not
Right. So in terms of your decision-making process, does that help us to get the 1x back? Is there a plan that you have in place? And what is that
One
plan?
question
So
only,
you,
please, mate.
from what I understand, you're more technical than business development.
My plan is independent of what corporate promised you guys, right?
Okay, so this is something that you're doing off your own back, out of your own goodwill.
Yeah.
No, it's not off my own goodwill. It's you know,
it sounds that way, mate.
I'm morally compromised, right? So again,
morals now.
you
Sorry,
know,
guys, can't help myself.
I understand there's people who don't sleep well at night. Right,
you do,
but
right, mate. You
I
no
also
problems.
don't sleep well at night. Of course, there will be people who, you know, are not sleeping, you know, as well as me. They're worse off than me. I get it, but
don't care though.
you know,
got the money already.
I'm hoping to change that situation.
Oh, you are
right,
not.
and it all starts by first getting on this call, and then just making my position known so that you guys could come up with a list of questions based on these answers to have another call.
What an idiot.
No, I appreciate that. And, you know, for us, just so you know, for me, seeing you on this call, it's like, wow, you know, there's a lot of sleepless nights. I mean, for you to be on here, brave enough to answer some of the people on here, which is really great. You know, for a lot of us, it's 6 months too late, but you know what, you're here now, which is the most important thing. And thank you, Harinder, for organizing this as well. And I really appreciate that. I'll let somebody else have a go now. Thank you very much, Sam.
Thank you, Sam. Barbara, do you want to unmute yourself, please?
Barbara.
Thanks again, Sam. Everybody, thank you. Two things I want to clarify. Number one, we came on this corporate call or this call with different expectations, I guess. And that's one of the biggest reasons I think there's some anger happening.
Funny. She's come on. Now, we had a guy back, probably if you go back and look at about 1 minute 15, you'll see John. I can't even say their name. I'll have a week play saying it.
Gluckman.
Gluckman? You have to watch how you say that. So this must be the wife or sister. It's a family affair, I tell you.
But I'd like to offer some solutions. And I know obviously you're solution-based, that's what we're all looking for here. You continue to state that you made lots of money and you think that there's enough money in here and you can't understand why the money isn't paid back to membership. And I understand you feel that you don't have enough leverage and a voice within the corporate structure, that you're on the other side of that.
Brilliant.
There's many, many organizations that have done friendly takeovers. Is this a corporation that we can do that? Can we go in there and all become board members and have a say in how this money is actually coming back to this membership? That's number one. Or number two, do we need to take a class action lawsuit to have, if you say that there's money in there that just simply hasn't been paid back to us and you don't understand why, that's a class action lawsuit that we should be taking.
I can't believe she said that. This would be good. Go for it, Sam.
So,
how is the corporate structure done so that we can get back and take control of the corporate?
Firstly, you know,
there is no
a
corporate
takeover will require taking over liability, right? That is why I'm not willing to be in that situation where, you know, I take on the 1x promise that corporate is making, because that is a promise that is made and only corporate has visibility of what 1x is. So you know, it's like there are companies that go bankrupt all the time because their liabilities exceeds assets, right? And now they've stated to me in multiple board meetings that they're waiting on a few transactions to go through and market conditions to improve. But you know, at the end, you know, where I stand is I'm here to at least apply pressure and be in a position to create value, right? And the thing is, by starting this process of recreating the database, it allows me to begin to put, you know, opportunities in front of everyone, you know, that cost nothing, because you have to understand everybody's attention is value. As long as I'm able to monetize that value in the right way, everybody here will benefit. And
I appreciate that, Sam. And I know you went into this in great detail.
the other thing about class action, right? You know, lawyers need to look at receiving something at the end of that class action, right? And if there is not a solid structure to go after, then how do you even begin, right?
Yeah, these guys obviously no one's able to go after them legally. And that's why this corporate thing is so important for them, is because they need to keep this persona of somebody else that isn't them in the picture. Because if he's in Dubai, why is he living in Dubai? And why doesn't he come back to Australia, where liquidators are looking for their $50 million that he stole when he put Blockchain Global on the internet, on the stock exchange. And then he raised $50 million. And now I think they're hunting for $21 million of that money that's unaccountable. And now he's living in Dubai. So, yeah, obviously don't do business with us, but he's not on here to save the community. The guy back called Avtar asked brilliant questions. He really did. And his questions were actually, you know, like, you're not here for anyone else but yourself. And why? But what Sam's going to say next is really terrible, is track him down. I'm easy to be found. And when I have a new opportunity, he's creating awareness for his next venture when the bull market takes off again. So disgusting individual.
But if you want to begin that class action, right, will that class action be stronger with me helping or not, right? That's what you have to think about, right? And if me helping will make that stronger, I'm more than willing to help. But right now, my objective is to at least get some visibility from corporate to help corporate deliver on your 1x. That is my situation right now.
Bullshit.
And I appreciate that. I think all of us on this call appreciate that. I guess I would echo what a lot of people have said, you know, why wait this long? You know, I appreciate the fact that you're trying to offer another opportunity for us. For many of us, we've gone off to other things because we've had to pay our bills, and we found some very lucrative things. So, you know, as far as bringing a membership in that you can, you know, tap into a database, I think for many of us that, you know, we're past that. If there was honestly a way, and I don't see that from what I hear from you with the corporate structure, you don't feel that there's really a way that otherwise it would have been done, I guess. Keith Williams, you know, I mean, all the nodes, everybody else has tried to do this. We've been promised, you know, week after week, month after month, that we're going to, you know, at least get 1 times back. You know, is this a dead horse? And, you know, therefore we go on our merry way, whether it's through your offer of, you know, because of your expertise, former expertise, that you can airdrop and do some things that will increase the value when we work with you. But I just keep hearing there really isn't a way that we can get to corporate, and there's not really
no such
a way
corporate,
that
invisible
we
man.
can access them to put their heels to the fire and get the money back.
Well, I'm trying here,
Oh,
and
wonderful.
hopefully, you know.
So this is stupid, eh? This is the robber, the person that robbed everyone, coming back to the scene of the crime, telling you that he didn't do it. It's so ridiculous.
Whatever ways you guys are doing it will be able to be shared with me so that I'm able to try new things. Right. The objective is to pressure and achieve an outcome for everyone. So, yeah, look, I think this is the only beginning of the communication. Let's keep communication going, right? Because this is very early in the discovery phase, and this is all I can offer at this stage.
Bullshit.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
She was very polite to somebody
Thank
that's
you.
stolen money from them.
Hi, Chris. Do you want to
How we doing time? Oh my God, 32 more minutes of it.
Hi, Sam. Thank you for being brave enough to come onto this call.
Oh, whatever.
A lot of friendships and families have been broken up because of HyperVerse. Hence why you have emotional people like Avtar come on the call and say
Avtar
what he
is
said.
a hero.
I think what we mostly need as a community is some direction, because we are all, at the moment, it's all over the place. And so from what I understand from this call, you want to create something new for the community to move them forward. So in your honest opinion, I don't know whether you can answer this or not.
Of course you can.
HyperNation and HyperCosmos have been told to be the solution to HyperVerse, right? And that's what You know, some of us have held back, not knowing whether to do so and get onto HyperNation. In your honest opinion, is HyperNation or HyperCosmos then not the way to go? Instead, come on board with whatever new you're creating.
Of course not. What a dumb question.
Firstly, I want to say that I trust that things will go right and people will be made whole by corporate. So, I've seen these partners of mine, time and time again, pull a rabbit out of a hat. So, it does take time, I guess, so I still have hope that this is part of the solution. But my objective now is to really create something that is not just based on hope. It's based on real partnerships and real revenue, right? So let me go through that process of discovery, right? So that I can understand how to utilize this community as we continue the growth of this industry. I hope I'm still able to provide value and use, right, to the community. But that takes time. That takes time for me to go through that discovery phase.
Thanks, Sam.
Thanks, Chris. Tim, do you want to unmute yourself?
Hi, Sam. Thanks for coming on the Zoom. These are just a question I had from my team, and that was, please can you ask them how are they able to continue trading new investors on their alternative product when we haven't had our 1x back?
Trading? Explain that one, buddy.
Sorry, my connection is not strong. Can you ask that question again?
Sure. So the question was, how are they able to continue trading and offering higher returns to new investors on their alternative products when we haven't had our 1x back?
I don't have any visibility.
Okay. And the reason why you don't have that visibility is that because you've been sidelined, Sam, and this is your way of almost disconnecting yourself from corporate and deciding to, right, how can I make amends? I'll build up a new database because of my fallout with the fellow partners.
Yep.
So, I'm here to go through a process of discovery, right? Because I don't have a solution right now. My objective really is to
steal the database,
be in a position to advocate for you guys and to, see what we could do together, right? So there are plenty of leaders that brought opportunities forward, right? You know what? I could deliver on those opportunities and execute them at 1/10 of the cost, because there is already infrastructure that I have that is ready to go to bring everything together, right? And so hopefully what I'm able to do is drive an outcome on behalf of the community, without asking for the community to contribute anything, because I'm obligated to deal with this regardless of whether I'm legally liable or not.
And okay, thank you, Sam. And just one question that's just come to me right now.
How do you sleep at night?
If let's just assume that we start a new venture with you, we create a new database, and with any joint venture, you always want the other partner to have skin in the game. So my question to you would be, what sort of skin in the game will you have for us?
Yeah, nothing.
Well, my
Funny, isn't it, Sam?
my reputation is already very mixed online, so this is what I need to do, right? You know, I'm not going into this market to not deliver if I'm in front of you guys, right? The thing is, you know, for a lack of visibility, because I don't understand as much as you guys do on, you know, the affiliate marketing side of the business. You know, I have achieved and delivered on the outcomes from my side. But at the end of the day, you know, my skin in the game is, you know, redemption and legacy, right? You know,
No financial
that's
stuff.
the thing.
That's what you're saying, Sam, isn't it?
We have built technology that is worth tens of millions of dollars.
Oh, whatever.
You know, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of hours have gone into building such solutions that I could just replicate if that helps. So my objective is how can that plus more be utilized for the benefit of this community right here?
Nothing financial then, just time and old code.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tim. Mahesh, would you like to meet yourself?
What have we got now? 3:18.
Hi, Sam. Yeah, so I've been listening quite intently throughout the whole thing, and it seems like you have a conscience that you need to fulfill, I guess. And
read that wrong, mate.
There's a couple of things. So worst case scenario and best case scenario is what I'm thinking in my head. So best case scenario, if I'm correct, is that with this call, with this meeting, and you know, with your intent of creating your own organization structure through the community already existing within HyperVerse with us, would put pressure on corporate, who sounds like obviously you've what's the word? So obviously you're not it hasn't set well with you, that they haven't been transparent, so forth with yourself. So you know, it will give that kind of pressure on them to fulfill their promise. And would, in the worst case scenario, would you, because you mentioned about funds as well, that that you have funds which are gaining maturity, and at the end of the I believe 2023 it will gain. If, for example, corporate do not fulfill on their promise after all this time, obviously we're hoping they would, given all that's happening now as well. But if they don't, would you consider, taking on that promise at the end of 2023, if you gain more visibility, or after you gain visibility, with the first step you're going to take in recreating that tree and structure and analyzing and seeing for yourself, is, if it's feasible to do that? Is that something you could, fulfill? So that's basically my question. And the best case scenario is, well, I'm thinking is that they do fulfill the promise and you have that tree of structure. Would you, would you still consider taking them on board, people who sounds like you lost trust with, to be honest? Would you, basically it'll be the Sam Lee ship, well, that sounds a bit going forward. And would you take on the previous guys who we've lost faith in now, and obviously bring them on board as well as us? Obviously, it's not something.
Oh, that's your frigging question, mate.
That basically that's my kind of question, really. Those two questions.
Does it make any sense, mate?
That.
How's he going to answer
that? You could always be good friends, but not work together. So it all depends on how things play out, I guess.
Who needs
But,
enemies when you've got friends like Sam Lee?
the value that corporate brings
There's nothing.
is unique.
They have the
but,
database. Unique. Oh my God. Sorry. Keep talking.
in the sense of networks, it's overlapping. So, we all, we all know roughly the same people, and how we could create value together. So my objective is to drive an outcome, and I'm legally obligated at this point in
there's no
time
legalness
to
here, mate. Don't bother.
basically
Give us that shit. Legally obligated
take
my ass.
whatever monies that is yet to reach maturities and hand it over, right? And that distribution is not in my hands. So if we're in a position to recreate the tree and gain some visibility, then I could pressure them to not uphold my legal obligations, because what happened last time when I uphold my legal obligations? You guys didn't get your payouts, right? So there's things that we could do. We just need
Absolutely
to
rubbish.
Set another time and do another Zoom.
Build that trust with the community until they give up and trust them.
It's getting a little bit late for me here.
Whatever.
Sam, you've answered my,
mate.
thanks Mahesh, you've answered my next question. It's actually, I'm going to just finish off with the people that are on the screen, because with all due respect, it's actually 3 o'clock in the morning for Sam. And Sam, you've been so generous. So let's just finish off with Ronald, Happy and Gary. And apologies, Shiv, Joe and Alberto, but you have already had opportunities to ask questions. I just really want to respect Sam's time. He needs his sleep as well. And again, it just shows his commitment to want to be here for us, the fact that he's up until 3. So Ronald, over to you.
Who cares?
There you are. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, I take a different perspective. I like to wait and see how things filter out. I'm an international contractor and consulting expert for the insurance and bonding companies. So I understand a lot of what you're saying, Mr. Lee, and I do appreciate you coming on. You're a brave man. Anyway, with that said, I understand the aspects of NDAs and having to tie up in contracts and friends that you don't necessarily like doing business with, but it makes it advantageous to do business with others. With that said, I'm in agreement with you, but can you do a digital proxy so that you can truly represent us, in that we can provide our membership number and a digital proxy and a large enough amount in not any particular order, but you represent the membership and go straight to them with that leverage? Because I understand wanting to rebuild the tree so nobody feels like outed because they lose their downline and their monies. Digital proxy would solve a lot of that problem, and I'm down for that. Because you are a respected business guy. You do have a reputation out there that you're trying to fix right now. I get all of that.
Scammer.
I want to get to a solution, and I would love to speak with you one-on-one at some time in the future, because I really do have solutions I can get with you, and I understand your position.
Do you believe this guy?
Because
Do you believe him?
dealing with Fortune 5 countries and companies around the
Oh,
world,
bullshit he is.
everybody's got lawyers, and everybody makes it difficult.
Oh, what a lie.
But I'm willing to help with the solution.
Oh, whatever.
Because there are a lot of people that got hurt.
You're nobody.
I'm debt free and don't owe anybody anything, so it doesn't
you're
hurt me as bad as some of these people, but it does not keep me from being sympathetic to them. Now, with that said, what can I do to help you facilitate to actually provide an ongoing solution to offer to people? Because these meetings will always culminate the same way until you have that sign up here, digital proxy. I'll represent the membership base as to 1x return.
So I believe these guys at the end are all getting paid by Sam Lee to say what they need to say to build that trust with the community. People have had, they've fingers in the pie. We've got some really good stuff. Avtar, he's brilliant. Have a look at him. I'm going to put a wee asterisk besides all the names of the ones I reckon you should actually ever listen to, because there's also a lady, I think Kay, she said some really good stuff. And I did like Barbara as well. She threatened to win with a legal, a class action, which Sam said you can't do because it's too complicated, and I can't take it. It's just a whole lot of bullshit.
Without binding yourself legally for the debt.
Yeah, that's a great solution. And let's look at some templates that I could use and go out to the membership, starting with you guys here, and put together, a board of trustees, so that we could then get people on board to sign the digital proxy, because that's the thing, right? No one will move without you guys telling them to. So you guys are trusted members of the community, and if this is the right step, if this is the right next step, then let's do it.
I think that's the path to go, because right now you are maybe not as financially percentage-wise in deep like a lot of people are, but you are in the same boat and you get the same size ore that I get. So if you want to set up a board, I'm down. Prabh is on here. He would probably be interested in that also. And just sitting back watching people.
This is what you call gang, not gaslighting. That's a different thing again. But this is where you get pack mentality. Now, everyone from here on in is here to convince you that Sam is genuine, and we should do something with Sam, regardless of all the people that have been in the question and answers. And this really makes me vomit. So I do not endorse any of this, of course, but people like this who've got nothing to lose. He just said he's financial secure and he's owed no money, and now he's reckoned that he's an expert and he's trusting in Sam. I wonder what the next guy will pack on top of this conversation.
Discuss things. My questions have changed 50 times in the course of this one meeting, but the source of this is the solution. You want to represent the membership? I'm down for a proxy. I'm also down to have my legal help you fill out what the criteria of that proxy is, because you're going to represent, it's like a business agent at the union. The union membership don't hold him responsibility, he represents them. So you want to help? This is my solution, and I'm willing to fly to wherever you need me to help with this.
Well, we seem to have built this community without flying anywhere. So, let's put everybody's digital proxy forward, but without having anyone spend another cent on, any unnecessary costs.
It's like this. If in my blog I have 100,000 plus followers, that gives me a very heavy hammer to swing. If you're talking 500,000 membership, you have a truck to drive into them. So I think that's the solutions to go through. Everybody, because you're the face on here, is the face that they can yell at. And if you enjoy that, I don't personally enjoy getting yelled at, but my solution to you is this is what we need to do going forward. And I would like to set something up to vet out whatever the digital proxy is. I'll be the first one to sign it. I'm done.
Good, get them off.
Okay, great. I don't mind being yelled at as long as we're, moving in the right direction. And I believe that's.
I hope this helps.
Thank you, Ronald.
Go play with
Ronald, thank you for that contribution.
Now the next guy.
Let me just
another gang pack mentality. Here we come. The other guy will be also praising up Sam. I've seen these meetings so many times.
Thank you. First of all, a big thank you to Harinder, AJ, and Gobi for just having Sam on this call. Sam, thank you so much. Honestly, today you've justified true leadership by just coming onto this call. We want to say a big thank you on behalf of Team Canada here. Just a few things I would like to just comment on is, now you said you are under Hypertech umbrella. There is HyperVerse, there is HyperNation, and you work on the technology side, right? My question is, what is HyperVerse different to HyperNation? Why is HyperNation paying us up to 0.7%? Why does HyperVerse do not pay us till date today? What could be the justification to that? Now I understand HyperVerse had multiple accounts. With HyperNation, it's linked to an NFT with your email address. But HyperNation is paying us up to 0.7, and that is how we are sort of compensating us as leaders, our downlines. We are trying to just, they have put in their hard-earned membership into HyperVerse. Now, this is a recovery plan just from our side, just by purchasing a 400 membership for them. So at least something is coming back to them in return. So what is different from HyperNation to HyperVerse? What would you actually say on that?
They're both
Well,
scams.
the way HyperNation was pitched to me was it was a solution to HyperVerse. So, the fact is,
he doesn't know.
HyperVerse membership is still not getting anything. And it isn't up to leaders to make people whole, because leaders don't have memberships money, right? You guys got rewarded for bringing people in. The objective is always for corporate to pay their 1x. So I'm not here to comment or I can't comment because I don't have the visibility, but my objective really is how do I work with you guys to drive a truck somewhere?
Bloody hilarious. Anyone else find that funny? Yeah, no one's laughing, Sam. You're just a comedian, mate.
Last question, Harinder, I believe. I think you're on mute. And
sorry, I didn't realize I was on mute.
Gary, go for it, buddy.
We saved the best for last, haven't we, Gary?
Hope it's the last.
I'll try and...
Here we go.
Sorry, Gary, I accidentally muted you. Sorry, yeah, do you want to just unmute yourself again?
Sam, I'll try and keep this quick for you. I do appreciate it's late, and thank you very much for the time you've given us all. Harinder, Gobi, AJ, thanks so much for organising. Sam, I just want to take you back to something you said very near the start, where I appreciate this is a two-pronged attack. It's one, to work with trying to represent us, to get corporate to do something that they've been promising you for ages. The other side of it is for you to provide us with a solution through a collaboration or whatever method, maybe using Ronald's aspect as well. And you said it won't involve any money from ourselves as the members. You're then going to take a solution out to the marketplace. So whose money are you using? Because you're going out to the marketplace with a bunch of, as it were, the Pied Piper, with this band of merry men, people, families behind you. But what with? Because you're not going to ask us for any money. So whose money are you using?
Well, I'm hopefully using the marketing budget of these companies, right? They need to do something to get your attention. And if I've already gotten your attention, then I'm saving them a lot of money.
Okay. All right. Okay. So there will be no pull on us financially, and we appreciate that corporate are working in the background to try and provide. You're just trying to bolster what we may or may never get back from corporate, in order to at least provide an alternative way of getting 1x or whatever it might be back. Is that correct?
Yeah, and I understand that a lot of people have lost friends and also made friends on this journey.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to remind everybody that this industry is still very young. There's still a lot of opportunities. you know, on this journey, and you know, hopefully I'm a filter between the good and the bullshit, so that in the future we're able to close rank and really take advantage of the good together. So you know, I understand not everybody is willing to give up any more time, you know, because you know, there are people who have said enough is enough, right? But you know, I don't believe that, you know, a solution can start immediately. It really needs to start through first this, you know, journey of fact finding. So, you know, for me to hear from all different voices of the community and to understand that, you know, people from all walks of life have, you know, participated, benefited, and also lost, you know, and really just give some visibility on the path forward. You know, I do want to bolster this to the point where people are actually, you know, able to benefit from this industry, because you know, nobody puts their money in for 1x, right? That's not the original intention of you know, anyone who's investing, right? So you've given up your time, energy, and money, and now you want more. You know, you're just rewards for that.
Just going to shut Sam up for a second. Now, yesterday I put out this video and I went through this letter that corporate put out about how they got hacked, okay? And I was in a Telegram group that I was number 57th in, called HyperNation in brackets UK with a flag, if you're looking for it. And now I've just been messaged by somebody while I'm filming this, and they're telling me that this very article's been removed. Now, I haven't checked this before I've done this, but it was on Medium. So if you want that article, you can see I've actually gone through and done a whole video on the article that HyperVerse. Now, since Sam, this is the war that's going on. Since Sam has been on here, which was last night, this now has been taken off. So they're changing their tactic all the time. Now, their excuse will probably be the fact that the information was incorrect. That's what HyperVerse will be saying. But I don't know whether my friend's right or not. So I'm just going to have a quick look, and let's have a look. There's the link it was at, and it's been removed. Unreal. So thank you to my mate Steve who pointed that out, but I can't get over that. The author deleted this Medium story. Isn't that just incredible? So let's go back and have a look and see whether we can get this going again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Medium and search for HyperVerse and see whether, oh, do I have to sign in? I have an account with them already. Quite like Medium, actually. It's got some good articles in it. Continue. I'll let Sam, let's see. I'm just going to go there quickly. But isn't that incredible? So there's a real war going on at the moment. So I'm searching HyperVerse, and I can see that HyperVerse. So this is HyperVerse who produced the article, and this is their latest article. As Sam said, we haven't heard from them for 8 months, and then all of a sudden they publish an article, and yep, the article has gone. It's just incredible. I only got 2,100 followers. If you find me on Medium, that would be great. So that is incredible. I'm going to go back and tell my mates thanks for that. So let's go back to the laptop, which is where Sam is playing, and let's carry on.
And unfortunately, you know, if things are going well, if I believe I've delivered on my promise and that went straight to membership and everything kept on going well, why am I here, right? I'm here because something went wrong, and I think just saying it's wrong is an understatement. It's gone terribly wrong. But I'm here to face the music. I'm here to deal with this, and I'm here to as sorry, I'm losing myself here, but I'm here to take on your advice as well on how I could better represent everybody to drive, a truck somewhere. So, please.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I'm all ears. Right.
Just one thing. You've mentioned there that things have gone horribly wrong, from in your words, as it were. Can you, and will there be a time when somebody can explain what has happened? I appreciate you.
This is actually really good, and I'm going to really enjoy doing an intro. I've got an intro for this video, and I normally do snippets and I cut out bits along the way, but I'm actually going to do a conclusion, and then I'm going to summarize all the questions that I've heard of. Now, I did miss half an hour of it because I had to drop the doggy off, but this video is actually 2 hours and 38 minutes long, so it's a long recording. Do remember that it's going to be time-stamped with different people ask different questions. All the good bits I'll put asterisks on so you know to go to those parts if you just want to listen to things. But so far, what is unreeled here, just while I'm listening to this, is pretty amazing. The announcement of the hacker that HyperVerse posted on their Medium account yesterday has been deleted, which is just amazing that this is lots of stuff, but at least we're getting some action. At least we know that the community still has an influence, and you never know, the community might actually be able to do a class action against Sam Lee, who lives in Dubai. And this guy just before, which his name was Gary Setterfield, he basically said he would fly anywhere in the world to sign a contract with Sam to get in bed with him, basically. And Sam goes, oh, no, you're all good. We can do everything over Skype. No need to meet up. Of course not. But hey, there's an opportunity for Dubai officials who ever watch these videos, seeing that these guys are scamming people in real time. All right, let's go back. We've only got a few more minutes to go. Exciting stuff.
You are under oath or perhaps legal restraints, but will anybody ever be able to tell us what happened? I know it's hindsight, but
no.
If you're trading and you're able to make money in a bull market, traders can also make money in a bear market. And you've mentioned
oh, this is another thing. I'll just do one more lot of interrupting before this guy finishes up. But you can see who's been swimming naked when the tide goes out. Has a phrase that people have adopted since the bear market is happening. So bear market, yeah. And when it's a bull market, who can't make money in this industry? And these guys have only made money in a bear market because they shuffle people's monies around. It's disgusting. So my opinion is I don't trust crypto, and you've got to have some big balls to go in there and play that game when it's rocking. But obviously if the tide is out and you can still make money, you've got a legitimate crypto business.
A lot of the time here that, when you're able to make monies in a bull market, is there something you can build where you can get rewards in a bear market as well?
Yeah, so that requires a separate conversation because it requires revealing some IP, and we have a very structured model to win every time, and it doesn't involve trading, right? So I think if we take the process of signing an NDA, I'll be able to give you some more insights on that. And that's the thing, right? If you guys are wanting to be confident in what I'm doing moving forward, and understanding it makes sense from a business perspective, then you guys will be confident in knowing that whatever we bring in will benefit everyone, right? So that requires some transparency, and that requires an NDA signed between us.
All right, thank you. Well, that's something that we can work with Harinder and the.
And that's the funny thing. I would sign an NDA with Sam and then I'd blow him out of the waters because what's he going to do? Take me along to court? There's no corporates won't even stick their ugly head out. And if they went to court, they'd have to prove they're a legitimate company, which would be worth its weight in gold anyway. I'm sure there's people out there with more money than a bull can shit that would quite happily fund someone going to court if it brought out who corporate was.
The higher leadership. So, Sam, thank you for your time. Over to you, Harinder. Thank you very much.
Gary, thank you so much. Sam, I just want to thank you once again for being here. You know, I don't know where you get the energy from. It's 3 o'clock in the morning in Dubai. And you know, thank you for your generosity.
During the day.
And just want to let everyone know this is, you know, Sam's not going anywhere.
Oh, whatever.
You know, so there's going to be more calls, more meetings.
Whatever.
He's on a mission to find a solution.
Oh, whatever. How much you getting
You know,
paid,
the
mate?
amount of time he's been spending over the last, what's the date today? 17th. Over the last nearly 2.5 weeks with communities, with leaders. I'm talking about 5, 6, 7 hours a day to find a solution. So he's on a mission to do that. You know, we appreciate you, Sam, whatever may happen. And I appreciate for some people, because this is your first interaction with him, you know, one thing I did say, and this may or may not happen, you know, trust takes time to rebuild.
And that's why Sam's on these meetings, because he's building trust with the community, and then he's going to tell everyone about his new stupid idea, Stable Deo. He's going to give you a place where you can be part of his next rug pull crypto opportunity, and you're going to lose even more money. And he says he doesn't know anything about multi-level marketing. No, so you go steal somebody else's community.
So what other alternative do we have at the moment?
Oh.
So I just...
All right, I think that was it. No, not quite. It's coming back. Stop it. Start it again. Hopefully it will come back in a second. Hey, anyway, if you wonder what I do for a living, oh, that's not the right one. While I'm waiting for that to come back, if it comes back, I'll flip back to the screen. I'll tell you a little bit of what I do. Oh, that's, I'm going to just pause that. Anyway, while I've been doing this, I got a little bit behind in my orders. Hold up, let's go back to this. And it seems to have stopped. Anyway, I don't think we need to finish it. We're just going to be reiterated with the reiteration of the iteration of the reiterator. Briefly, I was going to show you what I do. Since I have been, I've now got this into a different language for some reason. I'll just put it back into English. This is my AliExpress, and people will go, oh, we need crypto and we need another investment opportunity. I don't believe in investment opportunities. What I actually do for a living is I do a lot of drop shipping. And while I've been listening to this in the background, I've been processing my orders. Now, if you want to know what I do, I basically sell electronics, outdoor camping equipment, and a few other things. So I've been processing orders in the background, a few TV remotes, cell phone covers, remotes, washers, some headphones and the like. And I go to my unpaid orders. I go down to select view all orders. And so these are some of the things I've sold today. I don't even know what this is. This is a land wire adapter, the cell phone holder, some something you put on your iPad, a camera shutter, some headphones. I don't even know what some of the stuff is. And then you click pay order and it says select pay, and it will show me, I won't show you my credit card details, but so I go pay now and I go back to my orders and I am paid. And I've just processed 14 orders. I probably would have made $200 or $300 today, which is enough for me to survive. And then the automation will set in, and that's how I make my living. So when I make a profit, I put it in the bank. When the money, shows up in the bank and I make a profit, I put it into savings in the bank. I don't take my savings out. I don't take out my retirement money and put it into a Ponzi scheme, hoping that some people like these dirty, disgusting people like Sam Lee are actually going to look after my money. Who can't make money when crypto's in a bull market? But when it's in a bear market, which means it's going down, it's going to be a lot harder. I'm Danny DeHick, and thank you for listening. I'm the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger, nicknamed that by the New York Times. They put a whole featured article, got a whole page in the New York Times about my quest to expose people who are running Ponzi schemes. So thank you for listening to my YouTube channel. Please do hit the thumbs up. It helps the video get sent out to Google. It will also help save other people from getting scammed. If you subscribe and hit the bell, you'll be notified when new videos come out. If you post a comment, I promise I will personally write a comment back to you. You've been watching Danny the Heck, and thanks for watching.